Worthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get into this afternoon. We got to talk a lot of football, both college and the NFL. We got to talk basketball, both college and the NBA. A lot to get to over these next 3 hours as coaching carousel still rolling. It sounds like Arkansas has a new head coach from the American. We'll get into that. Some other college football news out there. We've also got to talk the Memphis teams in action tonight, the Tigers in Southern Illinois, Grizzlies and Pelicans. So a lot to get to over these next 3 hours. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well. Good afternoon to you. This is both Wednesday and Friday,
right.
And it's also our last show in November. Next time we speak will be December 1.
Holy cow, that is
Santa Claus month.
That is really hard to believe.
Yes.
Thank you for breaking that to me, because now I'm going to have to try to wrap my head around the fact that this is the last show of November. I mean, this year has absolutely flown by.
It sure hasn't. It does sound like Arkansas's got their new head coach, first reported by our good friend Trey Shapp at 103.7.
Right.
And the buzz, he was hours ahead of everyone, including the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You got to be kidding me. They hadn't broken anything in a long time, except for maybe wind. But Trey has that, and they settle in on Alex Golish, and that means Ryan Silverfield, who I think was in the running for the Arkansas job, will not be getting that one. And as an Arkansas fan told me, how do you hire sixth place in the American? How do you go out and do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, I think a lot has changed since earlier this season. We were talking about, he could be a very hot candidate out there in the coaching carousel, and, the way that the season has ended, and, a couple losses here at the end of the season. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to make a lot of people think twice on do you want to hire that person? And, I think Alex Golish has done a fine job at USF. I'm already seeing some Arkansas people kind of not super pleased about that hire. So that not a great way to start for some fans out there if Golish is officially named the hire at Arkansas. So, yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. We know the big jobs that are out there right now, but there's certainly going to be other jobs that open up, and I'm sure Ryan Silverfield's name is still going to be out there for some jobs. So it's definitely going to be something to watch as we wrap up the season, get to bowl time, and start looking towards the offseason.
I can see the reluctance by some Arkansas fans. 7-6, 7-6, and 8-3 going into his last game this weekend at South Florida, and it looks like they're going to let him, and he'll be allowed to coach that. But I would also tell those Arkansas fans this year he's got more wins in the SEC than Arkansas has.
That's true. Yeah, that is.
He did beat Florida in the Swamp.
He did. That is it's a good point. Now
they're over anywhere.
That's true. That's a good point. So, it sounds like that's going to be the hire, and we'll see how that works out for them. Obviously, you look at what he's done, kind of improving that South Florida team over the last couple of years, like you laid out with that record, and we'll see if he can go in there and turn around kind of a mess over at Arkansas with that team, and can make them competitive again in the SEC.
And remember, what he inherited at South Florida to what he is leaving, I think speaks volumes about him. But also for Arkansas, I had that same reluctance. I thought, well, let me go look at Alex Golish's record. And I did, as I just said, 7-6, 7-6, and going into this weekend, 8-3. And I was thinking, is that much better than Chad Morris at SMU?
Yeah.
It's light years better. How in the world did Chad Morris get an SEC job?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, and very clearly did not work out for him.
It did not.
Obviously, you can question how did he get it in the first place, but probably shouldn't have got it in the first place.
Sure shouldn't. He'd have been better off.
No, I think you're right. I mean, the thing with Golish has been, finally this year, it's kind of paid off for him. I mean, it feels like every single year with him at USF, it's kind of been that, all right, this is the year for Alex Golish in USF, and he's going to have a great season, and then it's been some struggles there. Now he's had some injuries, especially with his really good quarterback in Byron Brown. And so this year, really the year that he was able to turn it around and have that big season. And, we'll see, if this is the hire at Arkansas, what he can do over there and see if he can make it work in the SEC.
I think Kane Womack, the defensive coordinator at Alabama for the last 2 years for Kalen DeBoer, and prior to that, head coach at South Alabama, I think he badly wanted the Arkansas job. His dad, Dave Womack, longtime assistant coach there and well-liked, and I think he's retired in Arkansas. Kane Womack wanted it. Kane GA'd at Ole Miss. Might even graduated at Ole Miss, but I know he GA'd at Ole Miss. He wanted it badly. I don't know whether Ryan Silverfield did or didn't want it badly. Nor Dabo Swinney. I think they reached out to Dabo Swinney, and I think he just thought, better not try that. But we know James Franklin passed on it. We know Rhett Lashley passed on it. We know Eric Morris passed on it, and we know Matt Campbell passed on it. And please, once and for all, Razorback fans, quit making blithering fools out of yourselves and move on from Chucky Gruden. Please move on from John Gruden.
Yeah, no,
it was never happening. It was never in interest. Even if JD wanted it, John Daly, it was never happening with Chucky Gruden.
Well, now my hope could play out with Gruden getting the South Florida job. How about that? I mean, take over Tampa and get that job.
Much more in play than him telling his wife we're moving to Fayetteville.
Yeah, no, I think
that made Razorback fans mad at me 8 years ago. You can be mad at me now. You don't move from Tampa to Fayetteville.
No, you definitely don't. But hey, I mean, if you're already in Tampa, if you want to get back into coaching,
if you're John Gruden, I know Alex Golish is doing it, but if you've been to the top of the mountain like John Gruden, you don't.
Yeah, no, and it's certainly different for different people, and I completely understand with John Gruden. So who knows? Maybe he is a name to watch there. Have you seen what has been reported by some? I don't remember who reported it. That who might be interested in the North Texas job?
I haven't.
Jason Garrett.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea, but I don't know how interested he would be.
It doesn't feel like he would be that warm and fuzzy out in the old recruiting living rooms, but now with it being kind of Moneyball.
Yeah, might be a little better. Again,
and he knows the Moneyball game from that NFL building.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was a legitimate person that even reported that, but when I saw it, I was like, that kind of be fun to see Jason Garrett on a sideline for an American team. So, no, this coaching carousel, it's rolling, and we know a lot of openings still out there, and we'll see how they get filled and what that means down the road for more openings. And I mean, we could see a really interesting coaching carousel. It's already been very interesting, but we could see it get even more interesting.
A lot of indicators that DJ Durkin could be retained and made the permanent head coach at Auburn because he is instrumental in roster retention. And they've got a really good roster, especially on the defensive side, and some pieces on offense. And that would take a big domino out.
Yeah, no, it definitely would. And I know, there's been a lot of names linked with that job of who they could possibly go out and get. And hey, I mean, I don't mind it. Like you said, a very talented roster. And, if he can go in there and keep a lot of that roster together, if he can go in there and keep, a good bit of that recruiting class together, then yeah, I mean, I think you at least have to have those conversations about bringing him back and seeing how that plays out because, even though it's been a struggle at Auburn, I do think they have a lot of pieces. And, you mentioned the defensive side of the ball. They can keep some of those weapons offensively. Then, yeah, I mean, you might be able to work with something going into next season.
Yeah, and Auburn's going to be able to go out there and get the money for NIL.
Yeah, definitely. And, we know that's the name of the game in college football right now. So I think it makes it a little more, a little easier to kind of just stick with that guy, stick with that interim. If you feel like they can do a good job of keeping the team together and you can, build something around him for him to go out and get more pieces in the transfer portal or out in recruiting with the NIL budget, then yeah, I think it makes it a lot easier to just stick with that guy.
But here's the Auburn record since 2019. They go 9-4 in 2019. In 2020, COVID 6-5. 2021, 6-7. 2022, 5-7. 2023, 6-7. 2024, 5-7. And the record they have going into this weekend in Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is hard to believe. And, I think you can go back.
Had won 10 games since 2017.
Wow, that's very hard to believe. But we can go back to what Hugh Freeze always says. Oh, man, just look at this roster and what we've got and just wait till next year when they're more comfortable with each other. But the wins have not played out there. It just hadn't been there. And so you can say you've got a very talented roster, but so far it hasn't shown anything. And, I guess you'd rather keep that roster than blow it up and just kind of start with a hodgepodge team next year. But, so far it's been a talented roster on paper, I guess, but how many wins has it really brought?
Well, Brian, I did it again for this listening audience. I watched the college football playoff show.
Brett, you were waiting a long time to watch it.
I was, and I got a real beef with that. College football should never have to wait for college basketball. Send college basketball over to ESPN 9 and get to the college football stuff.
That was a good game, though.
We never wait for Jay Billis to finish doing anything, ever.
Yeah, Brett, I think I'd agree with you for a game. I don't know if I can agree with you for the college football playoff.
Means a lot more than the consolation game at Maui.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
And waited and waited and waited, and then we got there. And did you see the national disgrace for the state of Arkansas, Hunter Yurachek, between calling Reese Davis rich and then doing the 6-7?
I missed the rich part. I did see the clip of the 6-7. That's all I saw from it.
But also you got the truth from him. And I'm glad. I'm glad people got to see it when he said, we've been waiting on Oregon to do anything to move them ahead of Ole Miss.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've kind of talked about it. It feels like it's been kind of that way for a while. They're just, hey, just do something. Just show them you have some life.
Yeah. We sure want to drop Ole Miss.
And they did it last night, and that was obviously, it posed the question from Reese Davis, and he didn't really give an answer. He went with the 6-7 instead, but yeah, I mean, that was kind of the big takeaway from the night.
Rich Reese went back to it twice trying to get an answer.
Just give me something. And,
give me something.
And really got nothing from him.
It was all but dead air.
Yeah, no, it really was. And it doesn't help to have a little delay in there between both those guys. It almost made an awkward situation even more awkward. But, yeah.
And I think most people, for this year, you tell me, just simply answer this question. What's the bigger of the two wins? Oregon beating USC at home or Ole Miss winning at Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah, I think it's very easy.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of been the problem, and I think we talked about that yesterday, kind of looking to the ranking show last night. It feels like, and we've been talking about this all year, we talked about last year, it feels like this committee is still looking for a system, trying to figure out how are we going to rank these teams every week. But it feels like lately it's just kind of been what team is hot and kind of who's done the most recently. I mean, because watching that and seeing that ranking, it really looked like, oh man, Oregon just beat a ranked team. We have to move them up instead of looking at the entire resume and saying, okay, which team has the better resume? Which team should be in front of the other? Because I think if you looked at the resumes, you wouldn't have had that jump that we got last night. So it almost just feels like every week when you hear that kind of outrage, I think it's very easy to look at, well, who did that team that made the jump, who did they just beat? Because it looks like they're just looking at what have you done recently instead of what have you done as a kind of whole for the season.
Yeah, never mind anything resembling a deep dive or forensics into comparing the schedule. Just tread lightly into it. Last week, Hunter Yurachek said, we still think that Oregon win in overtime at Penn State's big. Well, Penn State ended up not being anything at all. Yeah. And I asked rhetorically since that night, do you think Hunter Yurachek thinks Ole Miss win against LSU is big?
Yeah, well, and that's another
thing. And LSU's
thing.
better than Penn State even now. Oh, no, definitely. Non-conference, the best Oregon win is a win over, and it's now a non-conference game, a win over Oregon State.
Yeah.
The Ole Miss best non-conference win is by 35 over a team that's in the bracket, Tulane.
Yeah, and I mean, it just we could sit here and talk about it for the rest of the show, and we still wouldn't be able to understand it.
What was the better loss? Ole Miss losing by 8 at Georgia, leading for 3 quarters, but lost by 8, or Oregon losing at home to Indiana by 10?
Yeah, I would say the loss was Georgia.
Every check. Every check it gets there.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, Wesley Walls, are you in the room?
Well, yeah, it's
or did you check your hat and nobody else really did?
Well, it's a good question, Brad. I think we have a lot of questions for this committee and how they're ranking teams, because it feels like every week we're coming out with questions that we really never get the answers to. And again, last night, like you laid out, I mean, Reese Davis just begging for an answer and just got absolutely nothing.
Since the first college football playoff reveal, Ole Miss has not lost a game and has dropped every week.
Is that right?
That's right.
Wow. Well, yeah, I don't really have an answer for you at that point.
Open Date's a tough opponent.
It is. Yeah. No, it can get you. It's
Yeah.
usually supposed to be that easy week.
What was the point spread against Open Date?
Oh man, yeah. It goes back to Landon a couple weeks ago, picking the Open Date over the Titans. I mean, sometimes it gets you, you know.
Yeah. Got to be careful.
I think Titans in a little bit of a different situation there against the Open Date, but yeah.
You know, about Vandy, you know, one time George Lapidus wrote in the press seminar that Vandy lost its spring game.
Now that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Spring game, Open Date. Which one's the tougher opponent? That could be a real debate there. But we got a busy show today, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Coach Tommy West. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of college football with him. We'll look back at what happened over the weekend, get his thoughts on some of these coaching searches, some of these hirings around college football. We'll do that in our next segment at 3:30. 3:45, we'll talk Tiger basketball as they're in action tonight at FedEx Forum against Southern Illinois. We'll also get to Tiger bankroll during that segment. We're going to play it off at Memphis as a 10.5-point favorite. That line is moved a little bit since it opened last night, so we're going to play it right now. It is Memphis minus 10.5, so that's what we'll play it at over Southern Illinois. We'll get to that at the end of this hour. 4 o'clock, David Cohn, co-host of Crane & Company. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of college football with him. Plenty to get to in that conversation with David Cohn. We'll talk about the weekend around college football, rivalry week this week, and his thoughts on the college football playoff rankings, some of these hirings and potential hirings that we're seeing around college football.
He's played in a big rivalry.
He sure
Michigan,
has.
Ohio
He
State.
knows all about rivalry week, so it'll be a lot of fun at 4 o'clock with David Cohn. 4:30, we'll talk some Grizzlies as they're in action on the road tonight against New Orleans. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated CBB Central. He's in Vegas for the Players Era Tournament. We'll talk a lot of college basketball with him, go over a lot of those games, a lot of the action out in Vegas, some of the other bigger games from the week, get his thoughts on the Tigers. We'll do all that at 5 o'clock. 5:30, a early First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast, or I guess in this case, a Wednesday football forecast. Doesn't really roll off the tongue like Friday football forecast, but we're going to get those picks in today because we're out tomorrow and Friday for Thanksgiving tomorrow and the Egg Bowl on Friday, so we'll make sure we get our picks. It's going to be all college games today. We do have NFL lock and shock, but with rivalry week, we're focusing on those big rivalry games in college football. We'll get to those picks at 5:30, and then at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The hot tub and swim spa clearance sales, they're going on right now at Family Leisure. Swim spa starting at $14,999 and hot tubs starting at $24.99. In-stock patio furniture up to 50% off. And don't forget about those hot tub covers. They're starting at $249. And the spa steps and cover lifts starting at just $99. Special financing, it's available. And if you mention this ad, receive a free gift with a hot tub purchase. So head out there. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're Sports Time, and we're live and local and with you until 6 o'clock. And we want you to be a big part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. We're always from our Family Leisure Studios. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. And this hour every day brought to you by the great people at Lexus of Memphis. And they wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and hope everybody enjoy safe and happy holidays. They're at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Give them a call at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is rivalry week this weekend in college football, and it starts tomorrow night with maybe not an official rivalry game, but it is a game that every single year these two teams meet, it turns into an intriguing matchup. It's right here at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium between the Tigers and the Midshipmen. Memphis right now a 3.5-point favorite over Navy. It opened as Memphis being a 5.5-point favorite over Navy. Navy, they still have a shot. It's kind of an outside shot to make the conference championship game. So they're playing for a lot Thursday night. The Tigers looking to send these seniors off with a win, get to 9 wins on the season, have some momentum going into their bowl game. But that really gets us rolling into the weekend of incredible matchups. Friday morning, 11 o'clock, right here on Sports 56. You can listen to the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. We know a lot of noise around this game for a lot of different reasons. On one side, Ole Miss, a lot of people waiting on the answer from Lane Kiffin. Does he stay? Does he go? And on the other side, Mississippi State looking to get to their 6th win of the season and gain bowl eligibility. You look at some of these other matchups throughout the day. On Friday, you got Georgia and Georgia Tech, with Georgia 13.5-point favorite on the road. We'll end the night with Texas A&M and Texas, and then that gets us into the weekend with all types of big-time matchups. Ohio State and Michigan, Miami, Pittsburgh, Kentucky, Louisville, Clemson, South Carolina. A ton of great games on Saturday. Vanderbilt and Tennessee. I mean, just name them. There are plenty of great games. It's really setting up to be a great rivalry week, and then we'll find out who's playing in the conference championship games, and we'll get a better idea of what this college football playoff will look like.
I have no idea why they don't, because they've been in conferences together. I would say a lot of years, not every year, but a lot of years. Why doesn't BYU and Utah play this weekend?
It's a great question. Yeah, I don't really know.
Because that is some kind. I mean,
really
that is as intense as any
it
of these.
Absolutely is.
These rivalries, as I've been told. I just wonder why they don't.
That's a good question.
I see why Colorado and Colorado State don't, because they're not in the same conference. Yeah. But I think they're missing out on it.
I think so too.
It's better for Kentucky, Louisville, even at a not a conference game, than when it was the opener. Moving it to this weekend is better. My top story: the college football playoff rankings are out, and it's basically I've resigned myself to this for really everybody, including Ole Miss. You better win or you're in trouble. Even Ohio State. Here's a scenario: lose Saturday to Michigan, lose big Saturday to Michigan. Lose big in the Big Ten championship game to Indiana. Yeah. They're not out of the bracket, and they shouldn't be out of the bracket. Let me be first right now to defend that they should be in, but they're way down the bracket.
Oh, yeah.
If that should happen. Texas A&M, same thing. Everything's going along great for them all year. What if it fell apart right here at the end? Then that broad middle where Oregon, if they lose in Seattle to UW, and it's timber for them. Ole Miss, we've talked about it. Oklahoma at home, pretty big favorite, double-digit favorite over LSU. Bama on the Plains. I think Friday's Egg Bowl for Ole Miss, the city of Oxford, coaching payouts, hiring a new staff, NIL. If Ole Miss, for Friday, it is a $100 million game for Ole Miss Friday in Starkville.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it is the basketball action for these Memphis teams. One team will be at home, one team will be on the road. We'll start with the Tigers. They're inside FedEx Forum tonight. Back at home, they'll host Southern Illinois, a Southern Illinois team that will enter this game with a 3-3 record, coming off a loss against UAB. And for the Tigers, we've talked a lot about it. Worst start since the 1996-97 season, a 1-4 start, 4 losses in a row. So this Tiger team will look to bounce back with a win tonight against the Salukis, and we'll see if they can get it done. We talked about those fast starts in the Bahamas in the Baha Mar Championship. Let's see if they can get to a quick start again tonight against Southern Illinois. Then for the Grizzlies, we know still with those injuries, we'll see if Zach Edey's able to go with that migraine tonight, but this is a very winnable game for this Grizzlies team on the road against the Pelicans.
Same for me. Not top stories. Tigers at home tonight at FedEx Forum to end November really like it started November with a win at home. It just wasn't anything in between. That would be the only 2 wins anywhere in November, and then that makes a December that can really define the season. Improved play at Baha Mar, no doubt about it, but it ended up being 2 more losses. Much like the entire Penny Hardaway coaching tenure, this season is going to get defined a lot of times in the non-conference, not necessarily the conference play, because we know what that usually looks like. Penny's tenure has been defined by 2 things. Non-conference, really good, I think, through the years. And March, not a lot of success.
That's right, yeah. You need to stack a couple of these non-conference wins up, like you said, before you get into this conference slate. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we return, we're talking college football. Coach Tommy West, he joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Don't pay too much for your next vehicle. Upgrade with Black Friday savings all month long at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. New Ford F-150s, $11,850 off MSRP. You heard that right. New Ford F-150, $11,850 off MSRP. Plus low APR financing available. Looking for more? We're paying top dollar for your trade. Bring it to Landers Ford and find out how much yours is worth. Or get started online now with the Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. The Black Friday savings are big. The best part, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Don't wait. The best new F-150s will sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report. Memphis Market. APR with approved credit. Example, 2025 Ford F-150 XLT. VIN number 1FTEW3KP9SKD 33353. MSRP $58,090. Ford retail bonus cash $4250. Landers savings $5,600. Ford package discount $2,000. Sale price $46,240. Price tax, title, license, and $695 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 12/125.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Hey, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. I hear the Volkswagen deal days are on during the Sign Then Drive sales event.
That's right, Randy. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 do it signing now available. Plus, take your pick. 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S, $199 a month.
And you were telling me about that 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz First Edition all-wheel drive. $1,000 off.
Don't miss out on the Sign Then Drive sales event. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, 0 do-it signing now available. So come see me, Marty McNade at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
That's Gossett Volkswagen, 7420 Winchester Road.
House SMO 56598, MSRP 27011, Jetta SMO 851138, MSRP 25916, Buzz SHO 19804, MSRP 72835, $2,500 rebate, $7,500 Gossett discount plus finance through Volkswagen Financial Services, includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax on license for the approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/25.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. TDOT's been earning their money today. I tell you, they've been helping a couple of disabled vehicles in the last 15, 20 minutes. Lots of radar. I can't emphasize that enough. I-40 scattered at times out through Fayette County as you come out of Shelby County, over in parts of Arkansas as well, in and out of Forest City, and certain parts of West Memphis as well. Again, extra travel time out here. Please slow it down. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save 40% off Zips Car Wash. Gift cards and wash books, perfect stocking stuffers, zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some college football. Joining us now, Coach Tommy West. He joins us every single Wednesday afternoon during the football season to talk some college football. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We were talking about it earlier this week. Rivalry week's here, a lot of great matchups this weekend. But, man, when is the last time Vanderbilt was only a 3.5-point dog on the road in Knoxville?
Well, if it wasn't in Knoxville, I'm not sure that Vandy wouldn't be favored.
Yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, it's been a long time. The build up it's crazy with Vandy being 9-2. If Tennessee wins the game, then they're both going to end up 9-3 on the year. So I mean, but it has been some kind of year for Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, Coach West, right now, how many teams do you think from the SEC should be in the playoffs? Out of 12 teams, and we know we got the slot for the group of 5, we have the 4 conference champions, so it really just leaves 7 at larges. How many of those should SEC teams expect to get?
I think this year it looks like to me there's going to be 5, and I think that's a big number. I think it's deserving of those 5, but I don't think it should be any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is deserving. Now, this question, and this might be a better next week question than today, but I'll throw it out there now. I think it should be that big SEC number, but how many of those can really win it all, do you think?
Oh, man, what a great question. The surprise team, if their defense, I've said it all year, if Ole Miss's defense can rally up here in the playoff, man, I just think they're maybe the best offense going. I guess I haven't really studied Indiana. That everybody says they're great offensively, but I really like Ole Miss. A&M continues to surprise me. I never dreamed before the year. I think Georgia's probably could have a chance. Man, they're playing awful good right now. In that last game, I thought they looked outstanding. I don't see Alabama or Oklahoma really having a chance to win it all because I don't think Alabama's I go back to running the football. I think it's going to bite them at some point in time, and it already has. Because when you have, like we've said, when you have to throw it all the time, I mean, you're going to have some errors.
Yeah.
And that's obviously happened to them with the turnovers against Oklahoma. So I think legitimately probably, 2, A&M and Georgia, and then Ole Miss would be my dark horse.
Yeah, I get it. And you talk about Bama running it. That's the same thing for OU. I don't think, except for the quarterback on like quarterback power and sweeps, he's pretty good, but I think he's limited from that injury. But the only good Oklahoma run they really had all day that day I was with Ole Miss in Norman is when everybody kind of got wadded up in one spot and he broke loose for 80 yards. Other than that, they could not line up and run it.
Mm-mm. Well, Oklahoma's their defense is what's gotten them there. I think they're really, really good defensively. And I don't think Mateer, early in the year, man, I thought he was the dude. But since the injury, he's been okay. Mm-hmm. He's made plays for them, but their defense has kept them in it. Without them having the great defense, they're nowhere near where they are.
No, definitely not. Another big matchup this weekend. You got Texas A&M and Texas. The story kind of early in the week was Arch Manning after the numbers he put up against Arkansas, 389, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. In Austin, Texas A&M a 2.5-point favorite. What do you expect in this game, and can Texas A&M finish the perfect regular season?
I think they can. I think I don't put a lot into those stats against Arkansas. I think Arkansas is the worst defense in the country. I mean, they're really, really bad. They would have had a chance. They weren't just so bad defensively. They'd have had a chance to win some games this year. So I don't put a lot into that. I think A&M's on a roll.
Yeah.
What advice would Coach Tommy West give Alex Golesh going from announced today that he's going from South Florida to the SEC to Arkansas? What would a good piece of friendly advice would you give somebody making that step in conferences that you know a lot about?
Yeah, just be yourself. That's what I always thought. Don't go just because you're going into the SEC. Don't try to be something you hadn't been. Just be who you are. But man, you better. I would tell him, hit the road. Go find you some corners. Go get some people that can cover. I mean, defensively, if they don't do something defensively, it doesn't matter who they hire. I really thought that Brian Silverfield would be the guy for that job, especially since they had beaten Arkansas this year. I just kind of, in the back of my mind, I never heard that, but I just kept thinking, how can they pass up on this guy being right next door and as good a job as he's done, and then beating them this year? I'm glad for Memphis that it didn't happen, but I thought he might be their guy.
I think on September 20th, after he pulled that upset over them before they left the fairgrounds, they would like to have taken him back to Fayetteville that day with him.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it.
No, definitely not. Speaking of coaching carousel and everything, obviously the big name has been Lane Kiffin. I said the other day that it feels like there's the coaching carousel and then there's the Lane Kiffin carousel with everything going on with him. What have you made of kind of all the talk and headlines over this last week with him? Because Brett and I have been talking about it. It feels like LSU thinks they have him. It feels like Florida thinks they have him. It feels like Ole Miss feels like they have him. I don't think anybody knows, and I don't even know if Lane Kiffin knows right now where he's going to end up. What do you make of this whole saga?
Well, I think Lane knows exactly what he's going to do. But I agree. I'm not sure anybody else does. And I think he wanted it to be that way. Lane kind of likes the drama. We all know that. But I don't know. You look at it and break it down, and we said, 3 or 4 weeks ago, University of Florida is not the University of Florida of old. From what the NIL and the transfer portal has done, everybody now can get players. It's what you got to buy them with. LSU, I don't know why anybody would want to be the head coach at LSU. Great job, great recruiting, great. Those people would drive me nuts. There's 15, 20 million people down there that know more about football than you do.
Yeah.
Really, Ed Ogeron's one of the few that can talk their language and get along with them.
And understand their language.
Yeah, and they can understand him.
Yeah.
and everybody else needed closed captioning for him.
Yeah, that's right. To me, that's why Coach Saban was really good there, because his personality. I mean, he doesn't give a crap what you think or who you are, and he'll tell you. So he kind of fit in with those people. Kelly wasn't a fit from the get-go. I mean, he doesn't fit those people. You know, he tried to be a Southern guy when he got there talking.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I think, well, when I look at it, I don't know why Lane Kiffin would leave where he is. I mean, he's got a great situation. He's gotten better every year. They're putting the money into it like everybody else. You know, people keep telling me, you know, why would he stay? He's not going to win a national championship there. And I go, well, why can't he? Yeah. Well, he can go to Florida and win a national championship. I said, well, that's not guaranteed.
No.
And neither is LSU. I mean, he, like we talked about with his son, with his daughter, with his ex-wife coming back, they say, and he's comfortable. He seems to like it. Now, the only thing is there's not a big enough body of water for him right there, but he's got enough money to get on an airplane and go.
Yeah,
so
and I don't know why he's got access to that university jet like it's his own personal Uber.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Everybody will give you all the reasons that the other ones are better jobs, and in years past they were. LSU and Florida both were better jobs than Ole Miss 15 years ago, 10 years ago, but I don't think they are now.
Coach West, this has to be rivalry week at all these places. It's got to be one of the easier weeks for you as the head coach or the staff, position players, anybody around the building to get people up for this. In all these games, you just got to mention the other one's name and you get ready.
That's right. That's exactly right. These are the easy weeks for coaching. I've always, to me, the hard weeks are, and the ones where you really got to grind are the games that aren't that, they're not that pretty on paper, but they're games that you're supposed to win. And the other team's not as bad as everybody thinks they are. Those games where you better work, you better make sure you're getting to every guy and that your guys are ready to play. In these games, you just give them a good plan, and you ain't got to stand up there and try to tell them how important the game is, or it'll be good. As soon as they come out on the field and they start yaying at each other, they'll all get ready to play.
Coach West, help me. You may remember that. Was it any outrage when Doug Dickey left Tennessee to go back to his alma mater at Florida? Because now we just do outreach. You and I and all of us saw it here in Memphis when Cal left. We saw it at Tennessee when Lane left there after a year. Heck, they almost had to call in the National Guard over all that. Right. Was it that much rancor over Coach Dickey?
I don't remember there being.
I don't either.
I don't remember anywhere really during that time of ball that it was when coaches left. To me, the first one I can remember is when Tubbs left in Ole Miss and went to Auburn.
There's a lot of rancor there.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of,
and look how it ended up for him. The gentleman from Alabama in the U.S. Senate ended up pretty good.
Yeah, maybe end up being governor of the state. So,
right. Wow.
Probably made a pretty good move. But that's the first one that I remember really being kind of contested. Now, he brought a little of that on himself. But no, I don't remember it being that way. And but boy, now.
Oh, man, now people ready to ride, aren't they? And I would say this about Lane Kiffin: whatever decision he makes, it's indisputable. He is leaving it better than he found it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can you be? The same thing with Cal. I don't know. How can you be mad if Lane leaves? If he does leave, I mean, look what he's done for you. I mean, he's brought that program now to top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's should have been went to sleep in the Kentucky game a year ago. How that happened, I don't know, but should have been in the playoffs back to back. Same thing with Calipari. I mean, gosh, look what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe people got mad about that. I mean, he's going to Kentucky, which was one of the top basketball jobs, ever. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know how anybody could be mad, or they could be disappointed that he leaves because you want him to be there.
Definitely.
Coach West, I know you'll appreciate this. To coach 21, 22-year-olds. Trey Amos starting in the secondary right now as a rookie for Washington. Before that long play that Vandegrift hit in the Kentucky game, the last thing they told him, what every secondary coach says, don't let anybody get behind you. Interfere if you have to. Tackle the guy if you have to.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's it. I can believe it. And, it's just like the last thing you put in their mind before they go back on there. hold on the ball. Now, don't fumble this ball.
Then the ball's on the ground.
Yeah, and that's when they drop it.
That's exactly right. Well, Coach, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll do it again next week.
Okay, thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach West. Thank you so much. Coach Tommy West with us every Wednesday talking college football. And on the ranker front, when Coach Bartow left the Tigers, he did not leave after the 73 season, the Final Four year. Mm-hmm. He left the next spring in 74 for Illinois. It was nothing. And then he went to UCLA, and everybody was kind of celebrating that. Look at that, and good for him. Mm-hmm. Nobody was mad when Eddie Sutton left Arkansas for Kentucky. Most weren't mad, except for at his Kentucky announcement press conference that day. The big one where he gets the blue coat and they present the ball to him, and Mrs. Sutton, I think her name was Patsy or Patty, got the bouquet of flowers, and at that he said, "I would have crawled to Kentucky." That stung. That stung everybody. Yeah. But not these pitchfork riots people are ready to have now.
Yeah, it's some people are ready to throw down over it, and that just seems like a lot. Let's settle down a little bit.
My final stand is, I want him to stay. I hope he stays. If he doesn't, thank you. You left it better than you found it.
Definitely did. I thought Coach West put it perfectly. With what he has done at Ole Miss, has certainly put it in a better spot than when he took over. But we need to get to another break. When we return, we got to switch gears, talk some college basketball. The Tigers, they're back in action at home tonight against Southern Illinois. We'll preview that matchup. We'll also get to our Tiger bankroll picks. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Burr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient. Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
The wrap-up the year sales event is going strong at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. So come get in on it. Right now it's time to take your pick from 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S or 2026 Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. It's your choice, just $289 a month. That's Jeep Wrangler Sport S or Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. Your choice, $289 a month. And if you're looking for an off-road beast, we Gossett in 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Now just $389 a month. That's right, Ram Tough Truck buyers. 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn, $389 a month. Plus 0% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat online. GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
Wrangler TW 182.534, Compass TT 16309, Ram SN 204.539, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, file, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months, no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
Your Memphis Tigers football team is home for the regular season finale Thursday, November 27th as they take on the Navy Midshipmen at 6:30. It's a Tiger Thanksgiving feast, and the first 5,000 fans will receive a Memphis football replica jersey apron. Arrive early as we celebrate our seniors one last time at Liberty Stadium. Don't miss the action, the giveaways, and the memories. Visit GoTigersGo.com/tickets for more information or to grab your seats today.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, congratulations to USC, the 2025 Maui Invitational champions. Throw up the Trojans.
Fight on.
Fight on, absolutely. So they win Maui, and
Eric Musselman.
That's right. That's exactly right. A extremely rare 1:30 tip time for the Maui championship game. So that is different, but hey, at least one champion.
So the rest of the games
week
are being played tonight.
That's right. Yep.
Third place game. Oh wow.
Yeah, all of them are after. I believe. Yeah, that was the first
the consolation prize of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. And maybe the worst prize, or maybe the best prize of being in the championship game, is that you play at 1:30. Which, Landon, what time is 1:30 in Hawaii?
Wrong things. That is
9:30, isn't it?
9:30 a.m.
Yeah,
so
because they're 4 hours in front or behind us.
So you're
two less than Los Angeles. Two
wow.
less. Yeah.
So your prize for being in the championship game is you get to tip off at 9:30 in the morning.
But get the first flight out going home.
That is true. But when you're in Hawaii, do you want the first flight home?
Well, that's a time machine, isn't it?
No, not really is. I mean,
they need the beam machine.
That's exactly right. Yes, we need to lend out the beam machine for Maui. So yeah, we'll have the rest of those Maui games later tonight, I guess.
Tigers and Salukis tonight at FedEx Forum. I'm looking at the Tiger game notes. 2-0 all-time SIU. Last Southern Illinois win. Last time they met, November 28th, 1980. Without having a media guide in front of me, that had to be opening night. And we like to call that the year before Keith Lee got to the Tigers, arrived at the Tigers.
I love that. The pre-Keith Lee era. I love that.
1 year before it. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, well, I certainly can't help you with what was happening in that game.
And that was around when opening night would be, around Thanksgiving or so.
Yeah.
I don't have a media guide in front of me. It could have been more than that second or third game in.
Yeah, I think it sounds about right. It sounds like it's probably an opening night or there around type game for Memphis and Southern Illinois, and we'll see what it looks like tonight. Southern Illinois, this will be their third game in 4 days. They played
7th of the year.
Yeah, no, they played a lot of games. They played over the weekend in a tournament. I shouldn't say a tournament. I think it was more of a classic. Played UAB on Monday. Had the day off yesterday, and then now back in action tonight in Memphis. So they've been busy, and we'll see maybe if they're a little fresher out there after the Tigers. They played Thursday, Friday last week, and then came back from the Bahamas. And so I think this will be an interesting game to see what this Tiger team looks like after what we saw down in the Bahamas.
Here's what I want out of the Tigers. Play like you did in both of those at Baltimore.
Yeah.
And you'll win a bunch of games.
Definitely. I think the biggest takeaway from the Bahamas is, was those fast starts. Got out to fast starts against both those teams, and then the second
Made
half.
some shots.
Exactly. The second half was a lot different, and those two teams were able to find ways to fight back and find ways to win. And so if you can come out there with a fast start, I don't think you'll have that issue against Southern Illinois tonight, and maybe be able to put together 40 minutes and have a comfortable win, and then get some of that momentum back, get some of that confidence back when you got to face a tough New Orleans team next week, and then really get into that tough part of the non-conference.
Yeah, New Orleans a week from tonight, so a good break after tonight.
That's right. And New Orleans, I think, got 30 piece earlier today by Texas Tech. But late last week or over the weekend, forced overtime against Mississippi State. So that's a team already has a win over TCU in non-conference. So they will not be an easy game for the Tigers a week from now. But yeah, take care of business tonight, get some rest, and then go out there a week from now and, hey, get back-to-back wins, and then you're really rolling. Tiger
bankroll on the year, Landon 3-2, only one in plus money. He's at 10-15.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 10-15. Bryant, you're 2-3. You're at 925. I'm 2-3 at 840. Tonight, we're calling the Tigers minus 10.5. Landon, you're up first since you're in the lead.
Well, I have a little bit of personal bias with this game because my older brother, Jared, actually went and played a semester of baseball at Southern Illinois. So he's a honorary Saluki. And because of that and the point spread being at 10.5, I don't expect him to win. But I'm going to go with the Salukis tonight.
Wow, how about that?
For $20.
Okay.
$20. Okay. Now you do know that one day, never mind a full semester, one day in school enrolled, you're considered alumni.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. News to me.
Well, how about that?
Good for him.
Once a Saluki, always a Saluki.
There you go.
I've never really heard that, but okay, sure.
Right.
I'm going to go with Memphis here. I think they can get back to Memphis and get a much-needed win. I think they can do it in style. This is a really interesting Southern Illinois team. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country, and because of that, they just don't shoot threes, which I guess is good logic
need
there.
To do that tonight.
And I agree with that. So I think Tigers, if they get out to a fast start, we'll see what the team looks like on the injury front. Had some injuries in that final game down in the Bahamas with Sincere Parker, Curtis Givens the third. So we'll see if either one of those guys are available. But I'll take the Tigers minus at 10.5. I'll go 25.
25 on the Tigers. Way to go, right?
I guess so.
We'll see if you have that Tiger loyalty when we get to football picks a little bit later.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I forgot.
That game in about 30 hours, no, less than that.
That's right. It's coming up.
About
Just around the corner.
hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe even less than that. I can't add today. I'm going to go 20 on Southern Illinois, but I'm going to keep it low at 20. I'm going to take SIU and key stat tonight. You mentioned how bad they are from three. We know the Tigers are. First team to 6 made threes win the game.
I think, Brett, I think you might be on to something because neither of these teams are great three-point shooters. And
then quit shooting them. Get closer.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think Southern Illinois averages 18 three-point attempts per game, makes about 4.5 three-pointers per game. So they don't take a lot, they don't make a lot, and we'll see they got a 6-foot guard that is a nice player leading the way. So we'll see what they look like, but hopefully Tigers can get a much-needed win, kind of right the ship a little bit before they get a much-needed week off, get some relaxation around the holidays. But we need to wrap up this first hour, get to a break, and when we return, we're talking more college football. David Cohn, the co-host of Crane & Company, he joins us next.
Ready to shine, Memphis? Save big on Club Car Wash's Best Wash this Tuesday for just $12. Stop by any 4 Club locations in Greater Memphis or visit clubcarwash.com to learn more.
Club Car Wash. Join the club.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Are you ready for what's next, Mid-South? We gossip going on at Gossett Mitsubishi's new location, 1956 Covington Pike. So get out here and take your pick. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, standard third row, or 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Your choice, only $399 a month. How about 2025 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, super all-wheel control for dynamic performance? We gossip $413 a month, or buy it for $30,245. Plus 0% for 60 months available. And peace of mind with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV SC 00816 MSRP 42615 Sport SUO 112859 MSRP 29050 Eclipse SEO 39001 MSRP 32745 PF 895 595 acquisition fee includes all rebates and incentives 895 PF excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I don't know who they is, but they're right. Start your day with a fast, fresh breakfast at Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East on Poplar, and the rest of your day will sail by. You'll be full of delicious Sunrise, so no challenge is too daunting. Once you've had one of Sunrise's signature house-made biscuits and a couple of eggs cooked to perfection, you're a brand new person. People will be able to tell. They'll think that person went to Sunrise for breakfast. I envy them. Oh, lunch is pretty important, and you can get that at Sunrise too.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Starting a bit heavier through Midtown, just in the last few minutes on 240 South and South Parkway. Plenty of radar today. Be careful. We've seen lots of troopers out there today because they've been working racks on I-40 as you head on into Fayette County. As you come past Germantown Parkway right now, you could see some troopers. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save 40% off Zips Car Wash. Gift cards and wash books. Perfect stocking stuffers. Check out zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck when you're on time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers, Ford, and Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to jump.
to Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some college football. Joining us now to do that, the co-host of Crane and Company, the former Michigan man himself, David Cohn, joins us now. David, we love bringing you in with your music, but this week, I mean, how else could we bring you in? It's rivalry week. It's the big game. Had to bring you in with that fight song.
What a beautiful song to hear this week of all weeks. Sadly, I did not write that one. But, man, I sure do sing it proudly, though.
I bet you do, and I bet you it will really ring out at the big house if Michigan does it again. And, David, I don't know why every year I'm sorry and I'm embarrassed at this. Every year when I look at that all-time win total, Michigan is ahead clearly in this. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's the national stereotype.
Yeah, no, it's not. And look, yeah, I think, what you're alluding to there is pundits across the country and Vegas, too, continues to get this game wrong, and they have the last 4 years, which I will say, I do think that speaks to the greatness of the Buckeyes program. I mean, throughout my 4 years and really for 15 years there, they were sort of the gold standard of the Big Ten. But, no one decade can determine the greatness of a rivalry as great as the game. And, in 2021, I said, along with many others, I said, look, you can't pick Michigan to win this game until they prove that they can win this game, because it's just been too long, and they did win it, and they have won it. They've won it when they're at home. They've won it when they're away. They've won it when it snowed. They've won it when it's nice out. They've won it when Jim Harbaugh's the coach, or if they have an interim coach, or they've replaced Sharon Moore as the permanent coach. They've won every different variety, including last year when their quarterback threw for 60 yards. And once again, they have an uphill battle ahead of them because, again, that speaks to the greatness of what that Buckeyes program there is in Columbus. But I would say this about any rivalry, whether it's Red River or Georgia, Florida, or even the Egg Bowl there, when you have one team that has proven to be able to win so many different types of games 4 in a row like this. Give me the Michigan Wolverines at home this weekend.
And last year may have been the most astounding one of those wins, because after all the Connor Stallion stuff, which a lot of that was garbage, and then you just look at that Ohio State firepower. They had not one but 2 NFL running backs, those wide receivers, and they couldn't move the ball at all on Michigan. And it was at the Horseshoe in Columbus.
Yeah, that being on the road in the Horseshoe was particularly shocking. That's one of the biggest upsets I can remember in this sport, not just in this rivalry. But say what you will about that 2024 Michigan team, at least they knew they couldn't throw it well. Okay, so they knew they had to throw a perfect game on defense, and they had to be able to run it. And I'll say this, the team that's won the rushing battle in this game has won every iteration of this game this century. So that's 25 straight years of this. The rushing battle is huge. Mm-hmm. And, that's why you look at Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. There's a reason they were top 15 picks in the NFL draft. They handled so much up front for Wink Martindale's defense a year ago. One thing I'm worried a little bit about Michigan this week is that they put so much on the young quarterback, Bryce Underwood, the 18-year-old kid's plate, and he's gotten so much better throughout the year with this RPO game, reading this run-pass option and zone read, that all it really takes is for this Matt Patricia defense, who's performed so well throughout the year, to catch him 1 or 2 times from his pre-snap recognition to his post-snap recognition. All it takes is 1 or 2 of those to dictate the outcome of a game like this. And obviously you got injuries on both sides, but I think everybody's going to do everything in their power to play, and hopefully we get another great version of this game. Keep in mind, this will be the 5th straight year where Michigan has played the Buckeyes, where that team in Columbus is ranked number 2 or higher.
Wow. That is a great stat. And there's something else Michigan won last year. They won the post-game give and take. It was Ohio State whining about how the victor should celebrate.
Yeah, once you started getting people in Ohio in the Congress saying that flag planting should be illegal, you've done more than just win a football game at that point.
No, you absolutely have. Before we get to some of these other big games this weekend, last night we had another college football playoff rankings. What did you make of what you saw from the committee?
Well, I thought it was hilarious on ESPN. Again, when they talk about Miami and Notre Dame, they're saying, well, those common opponents are sure going to be really important at the end of the year. Common opponents like Syracuse and Pitt. I'm sitting here thinking, common opponents, they have the same record. They played each other. I know week 1 seems like so long ago, boys, but it wasn't that long ago. But again, we've talked about that numerous times, so I won't continue to bring it up. But then on top of that, I have other media personalities tweeting out that, USC being behind Michigan or Texas being behind Vanderbilt because both those teams won their head-to-head, that's somehow a travesty, but the records aren't the same. Those other teams that are behind have an extra loss. So, again, here's what I want to tell people who are on your airwaves listening today. We are going to get a great, great college football playoff. Is it going to be exactly what everyone at home would have penciled in? No. Is this committee losing my trust every waking minute of the day? Yes, for sure. But we are going to get a great college football playoff. Obviously, rivalry week here. There's a reason all these big rivalries happen the last week of the season on Thanksgiving because they're going to dictate heavily. And at some point, it could shake out where you just have too many 10-2 teams to take. And we talk about this with college basketball every year. Someone who could have done a good job in the playoff will likely get left out. And that's just the nature of the sport, and that's the nature of not winning all your games up to this point.
And David, look, we got to play by the rules that we all agreed to way back before the season started, and that meant access for a group of 5 team. Fine, we agreed to that. But going forward, and they've kicked the can a little bit to continue the negotiations. When we go to 16, do you want 16 at larges, or do you want automatic qualifiers?
Well, I don't want 16, period. I mean, for goodness sake, we need to just play out this 12-team thing for a while because at some point we're changing too much about the sport too quickly, and we're weakening the greatest thing college football has going for it, which is its tradition. They need to take a playbook out of what the Masters does year in and year out before they just change things constantly every single season. But let's just say that it's a foregone conclusion and we are going to 16. Yes, of course we need to rethink the way the Group of 5 happens. And I come from one of those towns. I come from Statesboro, Georgia. I got to witness Georgia Southern University win the Division I AA championship every other year under the great Irk Russell and under Paul Johnson before he left for Georgia Tech. And actually, this turned into a very heated debate night before last with my youngest brother who went to Georgia Southern. He wants a guaranteed spot for the Group of 5, and he wants 2 spots possibly if we go to 16. I would rather see a Group of 5 playoff. And if one of those teams is good enough to be in the top 12 or top 16, and that's where they get ranked, then let them forego the Group of 5 playoff, and they can play up. And I think that we need the different classifications to be based on how much money the programs are spending. I'll give you an example here with high school football. My senior year, we won the 4A state championship when there were 5 classifications in Georgia. I didn't think anything less of our state championship because we didn't necessarily beat the 5A team that year, and I didn't look down on the 1AA or the 1A or 2A state champion from that year because it's based on the population and how many kids you have at that given school, and you compete against the other schools that have similar classification. Same thing with how much money's getting spent at these programs. It's not. I don't look down on Georgia Southern or Tulane or any of these other Appalachian State and these other great programs. Of course, I lost to App State when I was at Michigan. This can happen, but we need to split these programs up based on the amount of money and revenue that they're spending every year on their rosters.
And David, what you just described is what we knew forever in boxing. There are divisions. People weren't asking Sugar Ray Leonard to go out there and knock out Muhammad Ali.
A great example there, Brett. Thank you for bringing it up because Floyd Mayweather Jr. is one of the greatest boxers that I've ever seen. I wasn't necessarily a fan of his, but I was a fan of his greatness. Well, I mean, he could just fight an average heavyweight and not be able to win that fight. No, he fought against the other fighters who weighed the same as his. So that's another great point, and exactly how that would work in college football with the amount of money each program's spending, and how would you catch the programs that are secretly trying to spend more than whatever their quote-unquote salary cap is. I don't have all the answers for that right now. I just know there's a better way that we could come up with these solutions.
And look at what this week and this sport, what it causes. It's got the Coen brothers going at each other. I know you're going against you and Blaine Crane are having out with the Crane brothers. He's saying the Iron Bowl is undoubtedly the greatest rivalry game in college football. You played and participated in Michigan, Ohio State. That's the passions that get stirred this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. And I always tell them that Michigan-Ohio is the greatest rivalry in the sport because that's the one that I was affiliated with, obviously, before I committed to Michigan, my mom was born in Columbus, Ohio, so any affiliation I had with either of those teams was actually on the Buckeye side a little bit growing up. But two great rivalries. And it's funny when you bring up the Crane brothers, which I would encourage everyone to go watch our episode today where we had we had Josh Pate on to make our rivalry week predictions. When I met the Crane brothers in 2021, things were a lot different because Auburn had come off a decade where they really punched above their weight in the Iron Bowl and were able to beat some of those great Nick Saban teams, even in years where they weren't quite as talented maybe on paper on the roster. And Michigan, like I said, I mean, how many times in a row are you going to lose to your biggest rival? Again, these last 4 years are different. Auburn hasn't won the Iron Bowl since 2019, and that includes with Nick Saban having retired and left Alabama. Meanwhile, Michigan's on a 4-game win streak. So that's just, that's how quickly the tide can turn in some of these rivalry games. But again, when you're talking about rivalries that are 130 years old, 1, 2, 3, even 4 years or even a decade doesn't determine the greatness of those kind of rivalries.
Yeah, no, definitely does not. Talking to David Coney joins us every single week, talk college football, the co-host of Crane and Company. Getting into these rivalry games, a lot of talk around this Ole Miss Mississippi State game because of Lane Kiffin. On the other side, Mississippi State, an opportunity to gain bowl eligibility. What do you make right now of kind of all the noise around Lane Kiffin and that decision that we'll get over the weekend?
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you, again, with the prediction episode we did today, I was on an island. My two co-hosts and Josh Pate, they all took Ole Miss in this game and said that they don't think the team is distracted at all, and they think that it is going to get out of hand, and Ole Miss is going to run away with this thing. Now, again, if the question is, who do I think is the better football team, I think we'd all say it's Ole Miss. Who has overperformed expectations in a way that's nothing short of amazing this year? It is 100% Ole Miss. Congratulations to Lane Kiffin. What a great year to have a great year when all these jobs are coming open and your name is at the top of the list. I applaud him for that, and I've said that for several weeks and the majority of this year on your show. At the same time, you can't tell me that it's not nothing when your head coach, the leader of your team who's delivered on such a great year, in the biggest week, one of the biggest weeks in program history, you're going into the Iron Bowl with a chance to not just make the college football playoff, but still an outside shot to make the SEC championship game, which he hasn't won. In one of the biggest weeks in program history, he's potentially meeting with not just other teams around the country to go be their head coach, but other teams within your same league. You can't tell me that a team doesn't see that. And you add on top of that it's going to be at Mississippi State, and you add on top of that the point that you just made, which is Mississippi State needs one more win to get to bowl eligibility. I think they're going to play like their backs are against the wall, and I'm taking the upset with the Bulldogs this weekend.
If Ole Miss loses by 1 or by 21, the distraction thing's going to be out there. That might not be entirely fair to Jeff Lebby and his team getting ready for it, but that's going to be the asterisk by this game. Not asterisk. That's going to be the footnote by this game. I didn't mean asterisk. I don't like asterisks in anything. It's going to be the footnote about this game forever is the D word, distracted.
Yeah, possibly, but who cares? I mean, if you're Mississippi State or Jeff Lebby, who cares? You say, hey, who's reading the footnotes anyway, baby? We're just reading the headlines. And if they find a way to beat their biggest rival in this great rivalry game, and a chance to not just get to bowl eligibility for yourself in year 2 for Jeff Lebby, but to play some sort of spoiler. Now, look, Ole Miss may still make the college football playoff even if they win this game, but you certainly knock them out of the SEC championship game. Any sort of chip you can have on your shoulder to play spoiler against your rival, I'll tell you what, man, they would soak that in, and that would build momentum for next year.
Between on your show on Crane and Company with the Crane brothers, what are they saying? I know they've got really good intel on all things on the Plains. Can DJ Durkin, is he close to being named the permanent head coach?
We were saying on paper the profile of this game for the Iron Bowl plays out very similar to the game Alabama played with Oklahoma, which I think is right. I don't think Auburn on defense is quite as good as Oklahoma, and certainly on offense they're not. But the profile sort of plays out that way. I don't know. I don't know the internal workings of what DJ Durkin needs to do. 10 minutes before you called me, my father-in-law, Richard Todd, whose house we're driving to right now in Florence, Alabama, he's calling me saying that DJ Durkin's going to get named the permanent head coach at Auburn before the Iron Bowl. At the same time, my wife sitting to my right in the passenger seat is telling me, no, they're going to make an outside hire, and they're announcing it the Sunday after the Iron Bowl. So this coaching carousel is certainly been entertaining all the way around for several months now at this point, but I'm not sure who knows anything about what these coaches are going to be doing.
All right, let me give you some free advice, David. For peace in the vehicle, getting to Mr. Richard Todd's house, you agree with your wife. When you get to his house, agree with him.
It's a very delicate game that I have to play there. But, it should be a great game this weekend, and the coaching chips, they'll fall where they may. And I just don't want the players to get lost in all this, right? Because that needs to be the central focus, especially for some of these players and these teams who have overperformed, and they deserve all of the accolades in the postseason that they're going to get here. Because for a lot of these guys, I always say this, a lot of these guys, this is their last time ever playing organized football.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It really is.
Tears flow this week, win or lose.
Oh, yeah. No, they absolutely
I'm sorry,
do.
Say that one more time.
The tears flow this week in victory and in defeat.
100%. 100%. Those guys are walking off the field for the last time, and whatever the coaches need to make the best decisions for themselves and their families, certainly. But I just never want the players to get lost in the mix there.
David, help me with this. Were you on a Michigan team that went to a Rose Bowl?
I was my freshman year. Yes.
Every time I see that celebration, and now we don't really have that we won't have this anymore, but usually out of the Michigan-Ohio State game, that would decide the Big Ten Rose Bowl rep. And when those guys, I would assume, thorns removed, when they would have the stems of roses in their in their mouths in celebration, that's the best pictures in college football.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that, which is a bit ironic. My freshman year was 1 versus 2. The Buckeyes were number 1 in the country, undefeated. We were number 2 in the country, undefeated. Again, I'm 18 years old. This is my first entree into college football here. We're playing the Buckeyes in the Horseshoe on Saturday. Coach Bo Schembechler comes and talks to the team on Thursday night. That was his final speech ever. I was in the room for that. He passed away on Friday morning. The Buckeyes called and offered to postpone the game. Coach Carr said, thank you, but we're coming, and we're coming to win. And the Michigan team went down there to the Horseshoe and lost by 3 points. Year that Troy Smith won the Heisman Trophy. And that was a gut-wrenching loss, and we thought that maybe we had performed well enough to get a rematch in the national championship game against the Buckeyes. But then we found out on that Sunday, sitting there as a full team, that we were going to the Rose Bowl, and everyone was bummed out, and no one celebrated when Coach Carr told us that. And he said, hey, because what you're describing is what usually happened. You win that game so you can go to the Rose Bowl. But again, this was the BCS era. It was a bit different, and we had just lost that game. And he said, don't you ever be bummed out to go to the Rose Bowl. That's the granddaddy of them all. I'm going to walk back in this room again, and I want you guys to celebrate when I tell you this. And he walked back in the room again, and we all cheered, and our prize was to go play USC in the Rose Bowl, and boy, were they good.
I bet he'd be proud of that grandson playing so well at Notre Dame.
Man, I'm so proud of that whole family, and I remember when they when he lost his younger brother. That was a really tough time for everyone, and to see CJ playing so well there at Notre Dame right now, he deserves all the success he has.
Yeah. How many children in the car with you right now, David? As y'all make?
We got a 4-year-old back there, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Can you believe you were
dog?
Can you believe you were ever 18 and at Michigan, and now look at you?
No, I can't, man. They've been pretty good for us here so far today.
I bet.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes the car ride a little bit easier. David, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, David.
Thank you so much. David Cohn with us every week from Crane and Company talking college football. And isn't that a story? I didn't realize that was the twist. Yeah. So Ohio State advanced to the national championship game then, and kind of consolation, they go to Rose Bowl, and Carr made Mac right after he re-announced it. And Tim Biakabatuka from Michigan, really good player on those teams, and that was some week with Bo passing away in 1 versus 2. That's good stuff.
No, that really is definitely an incredible story, and we get a lot of those from David Cohn. A lot of fun getting the analysis, and then also some of those stories of his time at Michigan. He really is
the Walter Mitty of college football, with a lot of different allegiances and ties and connections and the passion for it. He was on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line in that great location you need to stop by during this holiday season at 4542 Poplar, 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood at Poplar and Perkins with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. Supporter of Tigers Athletics and sponsor of our Look Back at the Weekend in the SEC every Monday during football season at 4:30, and the official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies, and at FedEx Forum with the Floor Seat Lounge since 1970, with all the great locations across the Mid-South. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, speaking of Sissy's Log Cabin, I just received 2 tickets for tonight's game against Southern Illinois. Some last-minute tickets. How about that? From our friends over at Sissy's Log Cabin. So let's give those away. How about first caller? You want to go see Penny Hardaway and his squad tonight against Southern Illinois. First caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. First
Great
caller.
Seats.
No, they are really, really good seats. First caller, you're going to that game tonight. But let's get to a break, and when we return, we will talk Grizzlies and Pelicans. That's next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20 plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
We're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Starting a little bit heavier through Midtown. Here the last few minutes, 240 south and South Parkway. Plenty of radar out here, that's for sure. Just about through with that red 55 southbound at 3rd. Hopefully things will start to move down through there a little bit better. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service family-owned jewelry store. Shop this holiday season local. You'll save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some Grizzlies, but before we do that, Brett, you said something earlier that really kind of caught me off guard, but it really hit me right in the heart. You said that this is our last show until December. Next time we talk, we'll be in December. Yeah. And as you know, December, holiday season, it's the season of giving. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful month that I know we all enjoy. So I feel like I'm in the giving mood, Brett. How about we do more tickets? I mean, this is just unbelievable.
You got them. You got them. Smoke them.
That's exactly right. We're gonna switch it up. We might have some more basketball tickets. I know a lot of people are calling in for those basketball tickets. We might have more basketball tickets in our next segment. Not sure yet, but let's right now give away football tickets for tomorrow night's game. And I hate to do this to you, Landon. I'm gonna make your job a little hard. I hate to do that because we have a 4-pack.
Hit me with it.
We have a 4-pack and a 2-pack to give away. We'll give the 4-pack out to the first caller. We'll give the 2-pack out to the second caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. If you want those tickets to tomorrow night's game against Navy, call in and Landon will get you set up for those. Like you said, Brett, really, really good tickets for that game tomorrow against Navy. The final game, a send-off to these seniors. Their last game in Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. I guess potentially last because there's a lot of some people projecting Memphis in the Liberty Bowl for the bowl season.
And I'm looking forward to next week hearing people's reaction to playing on Thanksgiving night. Yeah. Last year it was down at Tulane. Mm-hmm. This year at home. Out at the fairgrounds, I want to hear people's reaction to it. I always loved it. A little bit of me. I mean, all day today I've kind of thought, I'm supposed to be leaving for Tupelo right now.
Yeah,
it just kind of ingrained in me. No. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not leaving and headed that way until tomorrow. I love the Thursday night game. I really did. It was mixed reception from both sides, and I think you would get that because a lot of people, it's easy for me. Well, I'm not leaving children and grandchildren and things like that at home, and heck, my family's probably glad I'm gone. But I enjoyed it on Thanksgiving night. But I did like it the couple of times we've had it on Friday. I was not part of the Ole Miss crew the last time Ole Miss played on Friday in Starkville, and that was 2007. I started in 2008, and we played on Friday in Oxford that year. And we played one other time on a Friday in Oxford, I think in 2014.
Yeah.
And then again last year on Friday, and this year we play on Friday. But I'm looking forward to hearing people's reaction.
Yeah,
Tiger fans of going out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious as well because I think like you said, last year was a lot different. It was just gather around. I guess you could have gone and traveled to New Orleans for the game, but everybody wasn't getting out and going down to the home game last year on Thanksgiving. It was just kind of let's have dinner and
it's easier
let's get in
home.
front of the television. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to see the reception. I'm curious to see what it looks like tomorrow night at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and see what that crowd looks like tomorrow night.
I bet it'll still be some hearty tailgates.
Oh, absolutely,
tomorrow.
Absolutely. I know some people that are already have planned their Thanksgiving around tailgating time for the Tigers tomorrow night.
The Grizzlies in one of the great restaurant towns in the world after the game tonight. I bet that'll be fun. They probably don't travel. I would assume they would sleep over and travel tomorrow en route for Los Angeles in the Friday game. But tonight is definitely one of the winnable ones. And in that area of, I don't want to overdo it and the kind of the season get made in this stretch, but at some point, a certain amount of losing, and then I think you do start kind of trying to play for the lottery.
Definitely, yeah. You start seeing what kind of luck with the ping pong balls you can have.
But too soon right now.
No, definitely. I mean, we're not even 20 games into the season. So yeah, definitely early right now. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. You look at the schedule and the way it breaks. It's unfortunate that you still have some injuries and injuries with key guys. But this is part of the schedule, and especially now when you look at the way that some of these teams have started, really with LA and Sacramento, the Clippers and Sacramento, this feels like, you can rattle off some wins here. Go on the road, beat New Orleans, beat the Clippers, beat Sacramento, win 2 of those 3, and you look up and you're feeling a lot differently than how you felt a week ago. At San Antonio could be challenging. I don't know if I doubt Victor Wembanyama will be back by then. I don't know what the timeline looks like for that. But then you're back at home against the Clippers and against Portland. This is a time where you can really rattle off some wins if you're the Grizzlies, even with those injuries. And so it starts tonight with this road game against New Orleans, and we'll see if they can get it done. I mean, that's a New Orleans team that, it's kind of a weird mix of guys. They
sleepy building tonight, too.
It definitely will
Thanksgiving
be.
Eve.
And they're a team that, in a ideal world would absolutely be playing for ping pong balls. We know it's a little different for them this year. They're just bad. And so this is definitely a good opportunity for the Grizzlies.
When you're 3-15, there's a lot of negative, including 1-13. The Pelicans are against opponents over 500.
Yeah, no, that's not. It's not good at all. I mean,
can you give me a breakdown of pool play? How bad do we need this? What does it mean tonight for Emirates Cup?
Brett, I hate to say this. I'm no help with the Emirates Cup. I'm watching an Emirates Cup game right now. It's on commercial, but it's on right now with the Pistons and the Celtics. I don't know, because I don't know how many teams go. I'll be completely honest. I'm fine with the Emirates Cup. I just don't really know how the bracket works, because the Grizzlies never been in there, so I haven't really had to worry about it. But yeah, I mean, you win tonight. I guess it can maybe get interesting depending on how it works.
Tonight, I know we have just unbelievable college basketball menu out there. The games are great, and I can't wait to visit with Kevin Sweeney about this. Out at Vegas, they're on the fly. They're going to change how they do it, because they got a little blowback last week. Look, they got to go to a bracket of some type, don't they?
Yeah, little is an understatement. Last night, I mean, I could not get on social media without seeing people ripping
red hot over.
Oh yeah, I mean, understandable. Especially, I really feel,
and you're playing for cash.
That's right, and I feel for Tennessee fans. I mean, you go out there in your first game and you blast Rutgers. You go out in the second game and beat a Houston team that always year in year out is really, really good with Kelvin Sampson. And then what do you get because of all the way they look at it and point differential and things like that? You end up playing in the third place game instead of playing in the championship game. Now, I think we're going to get a great game tonight with that championship game with Michigan and Gonzaga. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, it would be a lot easier if you had some sort of bracket format to say, hey, these are the 2 teams in the championship. They fought their way there, and that's why they're here, instead of saying, well, this team, they scored. And you even saw it last night, Brett. I don't remember the 2 games it was. I know one was Iowa State. Iowa State had an opportunity to score late and add some points, make that point differential bigger, and they did not. And after the game, they said, we wanted to win the right way. We didn't want to go and put it on that team with last-second points. And then there was another game where they did that, and they scored. And that's kind of what the way that it's set up this year. It's kind of telling you to go out there, and if you got the ball and you're up by a lot, go up there and put in, get more points so that point differential can be better in your favor.
So we have this great college basketball menu tonight. We got the Grizzlies. We're interested in that. We've got NBA Cup pool play tonight. That's enough for me. But I ask it in this vein. Are we missing an opportunity for some football tonight?
I mean, I guess you could, you can make the case about it. We had.
Would you ever put rivalry games? A lot of people had either Cupcake or SEC, or in that Cupcake week last week in SEC, or open day.
Sure.
Would you ever try a rival game tonight?
I don't know. A Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Again, if you're the home team, no biggie. Kind of like tomorrow night. It was always more preferable. I say that, and I liked it when I mentioned I should be in Tupelo. I did like it then, but anyway, never mind me. It's not about me. But one game trying it tonight. Now I don't know who the sacrificial lamb would have to be, but I'll throw out both Egg Bowl participants were open last weekend. How do you think a Wednesday night would go over one time to try it? You'd have the TV sets, not to yourself, but a big carve out.
You absolutely would. And yeah, I mean, I think when you talk about, who we just talked about with the Memphis game tomorrow night, we're both curious to see what it looks like, what the turnout is tomorrow night with a home Thanksgiving game. It'd certainly be a lot easier. Now, those two teams are very used to playing on Thanksgiving. It'd be a lot easier for those home fans to go on a Wednesday night than a Thanksgiving.
Here's the one from the SEC that would work because of the proximity. Louisville and Kentucky, wherever they played it, if you kicked off at 6 Central, that'd be Eastern for both of them. But 6 Central, game over 9, 9:30, 10. But either place traveling back home in bed easy by midnight.
No, yeah.
You wake up tomorrow and you have Thanksgiving and the rest of the weekend ahead of you.
Definitely, yeah.
The home team, it's really cozy on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, when you talk about putting a kind of one of those big rivalry games in that spot, then yeah, I mean, I think I could be
now they both
more
played
open
last
to it.
weekend though. You couldn't play Saturday, Wednesday.
I mean, you definitely have to set up the schedule and make it to where they could do that. But I guess if you wanted to put one of those rivalry games there, I think it'd be fine to try it. Now, like last night we had MACtion. I didn't watch a second of the MAC game last night. What was it? Western Michigan and Eastern Michigan.
I watched a quarter.
Yeah, I didn't watch a second. I watched the early game. We had it on in here.
I watched a half quarter. About a half quarter.
Yeah, I didn't. I was at a restaurant and they had it on one of the TVs. That's the only reason I know who played last night in the MAC. So
but it'd be fun watching the Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, if you put a MAC game tonight, I don't really have any appetite for it. If you put one of those rivalry games, then yeah, I think I can get up for that.
Anybody NFL that you would send out there as the test case?
I mean, that's the thing.
Again, both would have to have had open dates last week.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you do it, people are going to watch. It's the NFL. I mean, it's kind of the same with college football. You throw a game out there, you're going to get viewers.
In NFL, that would be prime for two teams in the same market. Giants.
Yeah.
Rams or Chargers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and they're not always on schedules.
No, but yeah, I mean, if you found a way to make it work, and
Atlanta, Carolina, proximity, I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, like you said, that Wednesday's so tough.
Let's just enjoy the basketball.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, we got Players Era Championship.
We just had
tonight.
49 straight nights of football.
I mean, good Lord. One night off isn't going to kill anybody, Brett. I mean, good Lord. But no, you're right. We'll enjoy watching the Grizzlies tonight, and we'll see. Kind of the question is, will Zach Edey be out there? I've not seen an update for him yet. I know he was listed as questionable on the status report that came out yesterday afternoon. DeMichael Cole, we mentioned, he put out I don't remember if it was a picture or a video, some sort of media on social media of Zach Edey at practice yesterday. So, look, I'm no doctor, I'm no migraine doctor, but I would think that if you're out at practice, the migraine is improving, and we'll see if he can go, because he's been really good so far since returning from that injury for the Grizzlies, and has given them that much needed presence at the center position. Jock Landale, I think, gave them everything they asked him to give for the team based on what they signed him for and when they signed him. Now getting your main guy back in Zach Edey, I think he has certainly done a lot of really good things, and you'd like to have him in this sophomore season for him. You'd like to have him out there as much as possible, especially missing the first couple of weeks with an injury.
The big breaking news of the day, the Razorbacks have him a coach. But former Razorback Frank Ragnow coming out of retirement.
Yeah, I saw that.
Almost as stunning as that he retired, that he's coming out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think Landon was telling me about that during the break, that news was coming out, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't. Guess I didn't see that coming.
Good player.
No, really, really good player, and I think definitely could still do something out of retirement.
29.
So.
His retirement felt a little too soon.
It did.
But you don't want to tell anybody that.
No, it's one of those
things. You can walk
things.
away. That's a blessing at 50.
No, it absolutely is. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him and what he can bring to the table. I think he can still bring a lot. So that was definitely interesting news. And yeah, like you said, Arkansas kind of making all the news today with it kind of started last night with your mark on the selection, or not the ranking show, and then
Yurachek.
Yurachek, excuse me.
Don't defile Brett Yormark.
Well,
like
I saw Brett Yormark
That's okay.
yesterday on they signed some deal with the Players Era, I think, or he was on the desk of the Players Era. So
basketball's kind of his thing in TV.
It absolutely
deals.
Is. Yeah, but I got to see both those guys on the television last night. Don't know if I really wanted to, but yeah, the Arkansas news has really kind of rolled from last night into today with some big news. So we'll see if they can keep making noise into the weekend. But let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's takeover time, and you'll know when. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and the takeover time I mentioned is when your house has been on the market for so long and you want somebody to come in, take over, properly market it, and get it sold. People often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon, because I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. It involves preparation before you go on the market, along with proper presentation and accurate pricing based on our ever-changing market and rates, and being made aware of what's going on around you so you can make intelligent decisions, not merely guessing. Call me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com and let me take your listing over and get it sold. I may be lousy at golf, but I sure do sell some homes. Call me, Sheldon Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Hi, it's the Herd. Around the holidays, it's hard to find the right gifts. But you know what's even harder? Getting the right gift. Hey, it's not selfish at all. Everybody wants what they want. And guess what? Verizon's got the perfect solve for both. They have incredible bundles for you and your family. You can get the latest phone with a new line on Verizon's My Plan and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed. You can get it even on their lowest price plan. That's 3 amazing gifts they are offering. You can give a couple away, gift yourself one, or give one away and gift yourself a couple of them. You can even give them all to yourself. No one has to know. You get to decide who gets what. You're basically Santa, and you don't even have to fly all over the world in one night. Just go to your local Verizon store, get yourself a bundle, a phone, a tablet, and a smartwatch. It's a holiday miracle that you don't want to miss out on.
Do you know about the 3 T's of Thanksgiving? Turkey for eating, table for gathering, and touchdowns for winning. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in before dessert. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HERD. That's promo code HERD. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event on now at Gossett Kia on the Pike. 2025 Kia K4 LXS. We Gossett $145 a month, $39.95 $295 due at signing. How about 2025 Kia Sorento LX? We gossip $172 a month, $49.95 due at signing. And 2026 Kia K5 LXS, we gossip $192 a month, $39.95 due at signing, all 24-month lease. Plus, they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You just ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Hurry to gossip Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 20,000 per year, 25 cents excess mileage, 650 acquisition fee, K4 SC 182 921, MSRP 24,850. Sorrento SG 405 858, MSRP 34,275. K5 TS 421 572, MSRP 29,540. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 must finance through KFA. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy? I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, Brett, let the giving continue. How about this? More tickets. The reception was so good. We were able to find 4 more tickets to tonight's game for the Tigers basketball against Southern Illinois. Now, I know it's kind of getting a little later. You don't have to come up here to pick up those tickets.
We're going to fill the lower bowl up by ourselves.
That's exactly right. But we're going to send those to you, so you will receive those. You'll receive those tickets, so you don't have to come up here or anything like that. So if you're driving around, if you're saying, I don't have time to go up there and get tickets, you don't got to worry about that. You just have to listen. We'll get your information. We'll send them to you. We'll do first caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. First caller, 4 tickets tonight to Memphis and Southern Illinois. As always, thank you so much to Sissy's Log Cabin and all the support they've been giving us and helping us out with these tickets, getting y'all to these Tiger games. Well,
and don't you know that with the now, I think the ease of getting tickets, the backbone of our building at Flynn Broadcasting. Don't you know, Margaret's glad to be at all the ticket business.
Absolutely, yeah. It just makes it easier for everybody. You know,
makes it easier for everybody.
We get your information, we send it to you. It's on your phone, and then you go to the games. And
it's no more be up here by 5 o'clock. You know,
I have
I've met people in the parking lot out there with tickets.
I believe it. I was actually eating with my family earlier this year, speaking of tickets, and a very close family friend of mine, and I kind of my godfather, if you will. We were out to dinner with him, and he was shocked. He kind of had only been going to games with other people and kind of let them take care of the ticketing. This year, first time he went by himself with his wife and was shocked that was like, where am I going to pick up the tickets from you? And the friend that was giving him tickets was like, no. It's going to be on your phone. Like, you could go and scan your phone. He was shocked that no more paper tickets anymore.
I'm still shocked.
Yeah, well,
I am.
I know you are.
successfully get them in my Apple Wallet.
Yes, no, it is different times.
It's so much easier, too.
It's so much easier. Makes it easy for everyone. But let's go to my big number of the day. Oh, this might ruffle some feathers, Brett. Might be good that we already gave away the tickets. Not in a bad way, I guess, but it's bringing up an old name. My big number is the number 12. Dylan Brooks, now of the Phoenix Suns, is one of just 3 players in NBA history to put up at least 250 points, 30 made three-pointers, and 20 steals in his first dozen games with the team. He joins the other 2 players, Luka Doncic. He did that when he joined the Lakers, and Paul George when he was with the Thunder.
Do we miss him?
I think so. I mean, I think he would be huge
too.
for this team.
And I said it at the time, and we're going to see it with a lot of these coaching moves, how quickly people turn on the person that they loved 2 weeks ago. And I knew it would happen with Dylan Brooks. And I mentioned his point total. I'd have to look. I think he's 8th or 9th all-time on points scored.
Yeah.
You just don't go out and replace that as easy as you think you do.
No,
you can.
You absolutely don't. And, I mean, you talk about what he brought defensively, what he brought as a scorer. I mean, you could really use him on any team. And
probably
the Grizzlies
shouldn't have picked it LeBron.
No, hey, I mean, we could nitpick everybody and
people
what they
loved
do
it when he did it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he is one of those guys. We talk about it all the time with different players. He's the guy you love him when he's on your team, you despise him when he's not on your team. I mean,
exactly, it just is. My big number is 25. That's how many wins for Clark Lee in his 5th year at Vanderbilt, his alma mater. He's already the 7th winningest coach in Vanderbilt football history. But if he could get number 26 Saturday at Neyland Stadium, Shields Watkins Field, up on Rocky Top, to get to a 10-win season at Vanderbilt.
Huge.
And again, all of us that laughed, at least behind his back, and some of us to his face when he talked that talk. If Saturday is Vanderbilt's ultimate football moment. It's going to be grown men crying. It'll be pictures of the scoreboard saving everything. Well, you don't save ticket stubs anymore. Do you save programs? Does anybody sell a program anymore?
Well,
what can you save anymore?
I don't know. You got to find something to keep as a souvenir, as a memento from that moment.
But that'll be the all-timer for Vandy if he can get to win number 26, my big number. He's sitting on 25. He's done a phenomenal job. And to hear him in any availability, talk show with Greg and Eli, SEC Media Days, I saw him at his coaching press conference this week. If they all could be that normal, what a happy college football world we would have.
Be a very different college football world if that's how all the coaches acted.
Complete sentences with respect for the person asking it.
Yeah, well, it would. I don't know if I would recognize that college football world.
What a world it would be.
It would be something. But we need to get to a break here. And
the respect he has for his opponent. He mentioned about going to Tennessee. And I don't think one of it was superfluous, insincere stuff. He really meant, he said, we got a lot of respect for that program. I mean, that stadium, that setting, those fans that I've been around all my life. Every tone is perfect.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he does it the right way. And, it would be huge for Vanderbilt if they got the win this weekend. But before we get to a break, let me remind you, it's perfect time this weekend to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear. Whatever you're looking for, they've got it. But if you need a new pair of jeans, well, Frontier Western has you covered with all of the biggest brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're down there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Well, let's wrap up this second hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're talking college basketball. Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. He joins us next.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, there's some things about the Rendezvous I want to talk about. For example, we make it really easy to park. We have valet parking right at Monroe Street in our alley. We also want to make it easy for people to get to-go orders. You can now park in our alley right at our front door and put your flashers on. People also forget that we take reservations for 6 or more. And we have a wonderful party room upstairs that can accommodate people for rehearsal dinners, birthday parties, reunions, graduations. Our rooms seat between 25 and 275 people. And everything at the Rendezvous can be packed to go. Brett, we also do catering. See our menu online, and we can even deliver for groups of 15 or more. So if you have any questions, always feel free to call us at the Rendezvous because we answer our phone ourselves. You'll never hear, please listen carefully for our menu has changed. Press 1 for reservations, press 2 for hours, press 3 for catering, or if you know your party's 9-digit extension number and the first 3 letters of their mother's maiden name, dial it now. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
The wrap-up the year sales event is going strong at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the bike. So come get in on it. Right now it's time to take your pick from 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S or 2026 Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. It's your choice, just $289 a month. That's Jeep Wrangler Sport S or Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. Your choice, $289 a month. And if you're looking for an off-road beast, we Gossett in 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Now just $389 a month. That's right, Ram tough truck buyers. 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn, $389 a month. Plus 0% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat online. GossettMotorcars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motorcars.
Wrangler TW 182-534, Compass TT 16309, Ram SN 204-539, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, file, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Burr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient. Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. No shortage of radar out here on I-40, especially out in parts of Fayette County. They've been out there working wrecks earlier, so they're still out in that area down I-40. Again, leaving Shelby County towards Fayette County. Extra time out here. You're going to see lots of radar, possibly over the next 24, 48 hours. Give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save 40% off right now at Zips Car Wash. Gift cards and wash books, perfect stocking stuffers. ZipsCarWash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Or McKeon Sports Time, Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Wednesday afternoon. We got to talk some college basketball, and joining us now from Sports Illustrated, Kevin Sweeney. You can go follow him on Twitter at CBB_Central. He joins us from Las Vegas, where the Players Era event is taking place. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us. How are things in Vegas this week?
It's been a long week. I've been to a lot of ball games. Trying to sneak out here for a quick bite to eat, but good to catch up with you guys.
I bet it has been busy. By any chance, do you need to borrow my wheelbarrow for all the winnings?
I wish. It was good until last night. Now it's been really bad since. So.
That's how it goes, Kevin.
I hate it when it takes that turn. It's so much more fun winning if you could just win all the time.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm not sure the city would stand if that happened, but I would certainly enjoy it.
It's a little bit like sports. If you could just win all the time, it would be so much more fun. Who's the best player you've seen, individual player that you've seen in Vegas?
Man, I mean, Yaxel Endeborg has been phenomenal for Michigan and has really turned a corner. But I've probably been most impressed with Kingston Flemings, the freshman point guard at Houston. He is an unbelievable talent and someone that wasn't necessarily on the one-and-done NBA radar coming into the event, or at least coming into the season. And now I think there's a world he's like a top 10 pick this spring. He's been phenomenal. One of the best guards in the country.
Mm-hmm. I know there's been a lot of talk, especially yesterday, about the way that the Players Era is playing out in terms of what teams advance to the championship game and the different types of game. What have you made of this whole situation, especially being out there at this event?
Yeah, so I would say that I don't like the current format. I would also tell you that in talking to one of Players Era's co-founders, Ian Orifice, literally an hour ago, they expected a level of pushback to this format and didn't think it was perfect. Once they went to 18 teams, they got Kansas on board late. They knew it was going to be very bumpy and not quite the smooth kind of tournament people expect. They do like the point differential thing, which has not been overly smooth either. Has not gone over well. And also, they got unlucky that 5 teams went 3-0. You'd hoped it would have been 4, and then it was a little more smooth. But they're open to a bracket in the future. I don't think they're out on the point differential conversation just yet. It's certainly different. It's not my preferred model. I like a bracket, but it's something new, and they're trying to push the envelope in a number of ways, and that's one of them.
Is it any thought being given to around this time of year, around Thanksgiving, and then bracket some of the winners into more around Christmas?
At this point, no. I don't think anything's off the table. Like they are very clear that their vision is to create something resembling March Madness in November. The comparison was sort of like the Masters is at the beginning of the golf season, right? Like, why can't we have something very high level to start college basketball? And so, I think there's going to be different things. I think right now the Thanksgiving timeframe is most convenient with scheduling, and they're going to need a lot of flexibility from schools and scheduling if they want to venture away from that. But there's nothing stopping them from pushing the envelope on that front and trying to continue to expand.
Right now, the crowds have been poor. I saw you tweeted. It's a lot of media and it's a lot of NBA reps. It's kind of NBA Summer League meets college basketball. Any thought? I know they think of everything in Vegas to really make rates that much better and to really entice people with good bargains to travel with their teams.
I think that's something that's on the table. I think what I would say is that these types of tournaments all draw poorly. Like Maui is a great atmosphere because it's a small gym, right? Battle for Atlantic is a great atmosphere because it's a ballroom, right? If you're going to play in an NBA arena this time of year and you're not going to have a home team, which they have with UNLV, but functionally UNLV is not the home team in this event, right? Like you're not going to fill the seat, and the atmosphere's been okay. I'd say it's a little sterile more than anything. It's less an issue to me of empty seats and more that it just feels kind of soulless. And there's things you could do, right? Like, can you travel the bands and the cheerleaders? Can you do things that make it feel more like college basketball? I think those are things that they will have to think about moving forward because right now it does feel a little sterile for my taste. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. I mean, we saw it with Memphis last week playing in a ballroom in their event down in the Bahamas. I think it was listed sitting 2,000 people. So I mean, those look great, but they're not sitting anybody. A team that Brett and I have talked about a little bit this week, St. John's. What do you make of them through their first 6 games of the season. They have another one coming up in a couple hours against Auburn. But what do you make of this St. John's team? Because you're seeing a lot of points. It's kind of a more scoring St. John's team. The defense, I don't think, is to the level where Rick Pitino wants any of his defenses to be. What do you make of this St. John's team?
Yeah, I think they kind of lack the Rick Pitino guy, right? Outside of Zuby Ejiofor, who is Mr. Toughness, they just don't have a ton of grit. They're going to have to outscore people at times. I do think Rick will get them defending at a different level. They'll understand, if you want to play on this team, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And they have enough depth to create competition. But I do think, right now they lack the identity that Rick's teams usually have, and I think that's still going to take time to come along. And, it'll be a good test with Auburn. Auburn coming off getting, massacred by Michigan yesterday. Baylor, I think, is a work in progress. They beat them. But the 2 highest level games they've played this year, they've lost. And that's a concern with the amount of money they spent and the level of expectations for this season.
But he is one of the most adaptable coaches maybe for the veteran image. People would think he would never change anything, but he did it last year. He told a friend of mine, he said he quickly recognized last year we could be practicing 1,000 3-pointers. This team's never going to shoot them well. Let's get our offense some other way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think those are the continued conversation for him, right? Do they play their only true point guard, Dylan Darling, or do they put a little more shooting on the floor? Can they manage the game without that true point guard? Can they play bigger and help them defensively that way and sacrifice some shooting? They have some options. They have very good depth. But I don't think they found their lineup just yet. And one of the beauties of watching a Rick Pitino team is that they're usually better in February than they are in November.
Mm-hmm. We saw that Tennessee team go out and beat Houston last night, now 7-0. How far do you think this Tennessee team can go? And you talked about a freshman earlier, Nate Ament, right now for Tennessee, averaging 17.6 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game. What do you think of the freshman for Tennessee?
Yeah, Nate's really talented. Houston was a challenge for him because of their physicality. He's someone that's a little limited athletically. He really uses his length and is really shoot over people. I think that was really hard for him, but it was a great test. Tennessee was great yesterday. That's a team that I don't think is super, super talented outside of Nate and Jacoby Gillespie, but they have an elite point guard, they have a big-time wing, and they've got a solid big in Akpara, and, they are defending at a March level already, right? That's the difference to me between them and the St. John's, or them and a lot of the teams in this field. Houston has 2 freshmen in their starting lineup, and this is a group that, guys like Jalen Terry and Bishop Boswell, who are role players, they came out and they played with incredible energy and incredible passion on the defensive end. They got enough stops to win that game, and that was a really positive sign.
Do you think the eventual national champion has played in Vegas? Have you seen them in Vegas?
It's a good question. I would say right now I'd take the field, but Michigan has really turned a corner, from 2 weeks ago, and I think people felt like their offense was clunky and they're struggling. I mean, they have been overwhelming so far this week, and when they're good, they're going to be really hard to beat because they have so much size, so much physicality on the glass, ability to protect the rim. It's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just put it on Auburn.
They certainly did, and they beat San Diego State by 40. That's really hard to do.
Yeah. No,
in a 40-minute game, it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, not easy at all. Talking about taking the field, one of those teams that would be in the field, Purdue, a team Memphis saw last week down at the Baha Mar Championship. What do you make of what you saw over the weekend from the Memphis Tigers? They led in the first half, came out a really great start for them against Purdue. Then night 2, the last-second shot that led to the loss against Wake Forest. What did you make of what you saw from the Tigers last weekend?
Was very impressed against Purdue with their energy and effort athletically. I think they started to understand last weekend what it will take for them to win high-level games this year. This was not Penny's most talented team. This is not their most gifted offensive team. They're going to have to get into people and guard, and I thought they took strides there. Obviously, a gutting loss to Wake, and a game that they played pretty well in for most of it, and just couldn't finish. I think the decision making there at the end with Davis to take that shot instead of just pulling out the offensive rebound is tough. But those are hard things to adjudicate, right? Those are as a player, you see a ball and you have a pass to the rim, you usually go take it. So frustrating, obviously, to not get out of there with a win. But I feel better about Memphis today than I did this time last week, and so I'll be considered to think you probably take it.
I think we all are like that, but it still goes down as 2 losses last weekend. And Kevin, why does the Valpo Bryce Drew play? Everybody practices it to run it. Everybody knows what's coming. How do you lose contact with your guy? I was more frustrated with that than I was taking the ball back up on the offensive end.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I do think it's a tough play to guard, especially if you have a good inbounder. And if you noticed they had one of their freshmen who had barely played in the game to go throw that ball because he's a great inbound passer. He has he can throw it, baseball style, which not everybody can do. But I mean, it's a lapse. And those are the small things right now that is stopping Memphis from winning. And, given the margin of error is so small with the schedule that they'll play in the conference, it's absolutely gut-wrenching to lose a game like that. It's huge. And so it's you can say they're playing better, and that's a great thing, but at some point you have to win these games if you want to play, keeping the mark.
I was told in early September, Chris Beard got his basketball team at Ole Miss and got basketballs, and they go out to the football field, and he figured out who to be to the inbounds guy off of that, of who had that strong of arm. You got to get a big guy that the defender can't just totally maul on that baseline, and then somebody that can throw it like a baseball.
Well, I'll never forget, I was at a Loyola Chicago game, and they won on a play like that. And the guy who inbounded the ball was one of their big guys, and he threw it like a soccer goalie, kind of launches it. Mm-hmm. And I looked it up, and sure enough, he was an all-state goalie in high school. So these guys think everything.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible.
Kevin, I was at the Bryce Drew play in Oklahoma City on a Friday morning in 1998.
Wow.
That's
big time game.
That really is. Another team that you've seen out there in Vegas, Gonzaga. They're now off to a 7-0 start. Graham Ike back for another year. He's played really well. Grant Foster, who had some eligibility concerns before the season, but he's been out there playing to start the season. We've always seen really strong starts for Gonzaga. The biggest question has been at the very end, trying to cut down those nets. Do you think this team, this roster, has it in them?
It's hard because you think about the teams that they've had and the pros that they've had, right? Like, you feel like, all right, if you didn't win it with Chet, are you going to win it with, Kyle Grant Foster? Maybe not. But I do think they're playing a different way, especially defensively. They're a lot more aggressive. And that's really changed their team. They have these big athletic wings, and they've, really proven that they can cause a lot of problems for people on that end of the floor, which has been really a weakness the last couple of seasons. So, a lot of positives early. I'm not sure they're, the number one team in the country, but they are certainly in the top tier of college basketball right now, and will be competing, I think, at the end of the day to win a national championship.
All right, Kevin, here's a tough one for you because you're at great games and great place to be. But what's the best story going on outside of Vegas that you're looking at it and thinking, boy, I kind of wish I was there?
Well, I always love Maui, and Seton Hall has been so impressive to me, coming off the year that they had, and all the questions about their NIL and their institutional support, and Shaheen Holloway just kind of crunches it up and finds his guys, and they're playing really well. They probably deserved to win yesterday against USC and had a chance to play for that championship, and didn't come together. But they have been very impressive, and a big development for the Big East, given the Big East has struggled. They have a chance to maybe get in that some of the tournament conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Seton Hall team's fun. And first time I've seen them this year at Maui, and I'm a fan. I'll be watching a lot of that team this year. And speaking of Maui, there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot written about Maui, and now with the Players era, and kind of, is this the death of Maui? What do you think the future is with that tournament?
I mean, I wish I could be more confident about it. I think without changing their financial incentives, if you will, to play in the event, it's going to be really tough sledding, because it's one thing to go to Players Era and go make your $1 million. It's another thing to just play home games, and you can make a lot of money playing home games. The best teams in the country make $1 million plus a home game. So if you're going to give those three up and go spend $200,000 to $500,000 on travel to Maui just to play 3 games in 3 days, completely scrambled, preparation and whatnot, it's just not like overly convincing sell to the best team in the country right now. Yeah. And so without some changes to the structure and financial structure as well. I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that something that going to Maui in that great weather is not incentive enough anymore?
Hey, I would take a free trip to the islands anytime anyone wants to give me one. But yeah, I feel like it's different, and I hope that they can find a way financially to make it work because it's a great event. It's great for the sport. But yeah, there's some pretty significant headwinds at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, it's being considered here by the great people at St. Jude that's had the exhibition game the last 2 years, women's game and men's game. They're considering going to an MTE and doing it fairly early in the season. What piece of advice would you give them before they make that leap into MTE world?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more flexibility now in that environment because you can play in multiple MTEs. Starting next year, you can play in multiple instead of just like a one-game situation outside of the tournament. So I like the flexibility. I think at the end of the day, like finding a way to differentiate yourself in that landscape, which is so crowded. I love if you can find a way to do it at a different time on the calendar than just that Feast Week front. If you can go do it at the front or the back end of that, I think that'd be great. But I also think at the end of the day, like people will want to support something backed by St. Jude. And I know there's a pretty successful one going right now in San Diego, which is a 14 event, but it's for Rady Children's Hospital, and they're obviously great cause. So yeah, I think there's certainly room for it in the greater scheme of things.
Definitely. Kevin, last thing for you. 2 really good matchups tomorrow on Thanksgiving, North Carolina, Michigan State, and then Duke, Arkansas tomorrow night. Your quick thoughts on those 2 games?
Yeah, I'll be at the Duke game, flying back to Chicago tomorrow morning. I think it'll be a great test for Duke because I didn't think they played great against Kansas and found a way. I think the Carolina game is a great test for Carolina because they haven't faced a team as physical and tough as Michigan State. And I think big picture, the fact that those will probably be the 2 most watched college basketball games in the regular season in decades because of their network lead-in, being telling these football games. It will be a big day for the sport, and hopefully those games deliver.
Yeah, no, it absolutely will be and should be a lot of fun. But Kevin, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your night. Safe travels. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Enjoy the turkey.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you so much. What a great couple of days for Kevin
no
in Vegas all week, and then has to bust it back home to Chicago to go to Duke and Arkansas.
Yeah, no, oh man, I'd hate to be him. Oh, what a terrible week that sounds like.
That's good. Somewhere in there, he's got to get he said he was sitting down to a meal. Hope we didn't interrupt him. Thanks so much to him. We should have thanked him more. I'm going to text him and thank him so much for carving time out for us. And everybody's thinking about that meal tonight before everybody sits down kind of at home and at the table tomorrow. Keep Jim's Place in Collierville in mind. Jim's Place Grill, over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks. We're not going to be on Friday, so we won't have Jason Munns with us on Friday. He'll be back the following Friday. He's on the beat tonight for the commercial appeal covering everything Tigers, and we'll catch back up with him a week from Friday. Family time, lasting memories, that's what Jim's Place Grill and the Terrace family, that's what they've done with their great touch for our community with recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee since 1921. That's a lot of holidays, and that's a lot of great times for that Memphis landmark that's combined hard work, great values, and a dedication to their beloved diners. That's what the Terrace family, that's how they've created that memorable dining experience. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's and taste and see and feel the difference. If you're thinking about Christmas, holiday parties, or get-togethers, keep Jim's in mind. Go online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E and Grill and book your event. Lunch hours, Monday through Friday, 11 a to 2 p.m. Dinner hours, Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, those salad dressings are all homemade. You probably still can get one bulk for tomorrow. That would help somebody at the preparation table tomorrow. The calamari at dinner, soup, seafood, and no steaks, fillets, ribeyes, and strips in that great bar area with all the games on all weekend long at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. We'll be back with Jason Munns a week from Friday.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jason Munn, so we're not going to get to talk to him this week, but he's busy as always. He's already out there at FedEx Forum for tonight's game against Southern Illinois. He just tweeted out. We talked about those injuries earlier. Sincere Parker and Curtis Givens III both left that game against Wake Forest with injuries. Jason Munn's just putting out on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Sincere Parker is on the floor getting shots up, so looks like maybe a positive sign for Sincere Parker playing tonight. Still no word yet on Curtis Givens III, so we'll keep you updated if we get any word before 6 o'clock on those injuries ahead of tonight's game for the Tigers.
Tonight?
Say that again?
Are you going downtown tonight?
No, I won't be able to make it. Holiday things keeping me away from being down there, but I hope a lot of people get out there. And I mean, we talked about it before the season started. I mean, it really felt like a really good start to the holidays. Tonight you get the basketball team in action against Southern Illinois. Maybe tomorrow do an early Thanksgiving meal and then get out there and see the football team. With a lot of family in town. It's a nice thing to be able to go out and do around Thanksgiving.
Brian, a chance for the basketball team to double its win total tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
And the football team to get to 9 with the chance of 10 still there.
Yeah.
I still say that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's certainly, the expectations were there. And,
I know.
And it's different. But, yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to play for. And, for those seniors to go out there and have one last game in a Tiger uniform. I know Brendan Lewis spoke to the media earlier. And, even though he's just been here for 1 year, he was talking about, how much he's
been a sincere guy about it.
He really has. And how much he really loves this city and only being here. Kind of wished he could be here, could have been here for longer. So, definitely want to go out there and send those guys off well.
Maybe played a game or two that a lot of others wouldn't have.
Oh, Brett, I think there's
especially
a lot
in these times.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that the injuries he's been going through over this last month, they would have said, I'm not going back in there, and he has really fought. I mean, we talked about it a couple times this week. You go back and watch that East Carolina game, I mean, full-on limping up and down the field for most of that game. So you definitely got to give him a lot of credit, and hopefully it's a good turnout tomorrow night for that game. But we're going to get to a break in just a second. Before we do that, I got to remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicles at unbelievable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out those new models like the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover Velar, and the Defender. Test drive that new Range Rover Sport where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's go ahead and get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Don't pay too much for your next vehicle. Upgrade with Black Friday savings all month long at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. New Ford F-150s, $11,850 off MSRP. You heard that right. New Ford F-150, $11,850 off MSRP. Plus low APR financing available. Looking for more? We're paying top dollar for your trade. Bring it to Landers Ford and find out how much yours is worth. Or get started online now with the Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. The Black Friday savings are big. The best part, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Don't wait. The best new F-150s will sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report, Memphis market, APR with approved credit. Example, 2025 Ford F-150 XLT. VIN number 1FTEW3KP9SKD33353. MSRP 58,090. Ford retail bonus cash 4250. Lender savings 5600. Ford package discount 2000. Sale price 46,240. Price tax, title, license, and 695 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 12/125.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Hey, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. I hear the Volkswagen deal days are on during the Sign Then Drive sales event.
That's right, Randy. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 do-it signing now available. Plus, take your pick, 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S, $199 a month.
And you were telling me about that 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz First Edition all-wheel drive. $10,000 off.
Don't miss out on the Sign Then Drive sales event. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, 0 do-it signing now available. So come see me, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
That's Gossett Volkswagen, 7420 Winchester Road.
Taos SMO 56598, MSRP 27111, Jetta SMO 85138, MSRP 25916, Buzz SHU 19804, MSRP 72835, $2,500 rebate, $7,500 Gossett discount plus finance through Volkswagen Financial Services, includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax on license for the approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/25.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A little bit more traffic line in the last few minutes. 240 over here on Pike Popular is still not as heavy as it normally would be, but there is a lot of holiday traffic trying to get through our city. That's for sure. I-40 and 55 on the bridge in and out of West Memphis. Lots of radar out here. You're going to see a lot of that the next couple of days. Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Check them out this holiday season and shop local. Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the hero man. Says he's the people man.
Friday football forecast from First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. Real estate isn't something you purchase or develop or desire. It's something you appreciate, respect, and know. With real estate, there's no gray area. You either know it or you don't. First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. They've known it since their beginning in 1886. Clients depend on First National Bank because they know real estate. Brooks Winchester, Bill Samish, and many more can assist you in your acquisition of that hunting land, farmland, a construction project. Let First National Bank and Trust make your dreams a reality. 775 Ridge Lake Boulevard, Suite 140 in Memphis, 901-498-5763, or the office in Collierville, or online at fnbtmemphis.com. For commercial real estate, residential construction, or recreational and agriculture financing, let First National Bank and Trust help you. They're a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas, where I have had an account, been a friend, and been a customer my entire life.
We know it's not 5:30 on Friday. You don't have to remind us, but we also know we're not going to let this, the great weekend, the best weekend of the year in college football get by without us making picks. We won't be here on Friday, so we're doing it now. And we know this, college football and First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas about the same age, been around for a long time, and now been around in West Tennessee a long time with First National Bank and Trust, and they've been with us, and we appreciate them and are thankful for them. Let's get to these games. It starts tomorrow night, 6:30 at the fairgrounds. The United States Naval Academy in town. The Memphis Tigers, a 5.5-point favorite. On ESPN at 6:30, revenge from last year for the Tigers that lost in Annapolis. Memphis 6-4 all time, all the games since 2015. The Tigers lost the first one in 2015 versus the Middies in Memphis, but 4-0 since. Matt Berry, Tom Luganbill, and Harry Lyles, the announced team, tomorrow night. First Navy game. Get ready for this one, Bryant. This would amaze me. I talk about First National Bank, open since 1886.
Yeah.
First Navy game on Thanksgiving since 1898.
All right.
24th time for the Memphis Tigers play on Thanksgiving, including last year when they won down at Tulane. Memphis, a 5.5-point favorite. I'm going to take Navy. I'm going to take Navy to win straight up 42-28. Brian, I know you're going to stick with alma mater.
Yeah, well, first off, Brett, that first Navy game or that last Navy game on Thanksgiving, I mean, that was before the first Thanksgiving, right? I mean, that was...
We weren't even scoring like this in football then.
I mean, what in the world
and you could fold your helmet up and put it in your pocket.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about lugging around the equipment. They'll fit in your pocket. But I am, I went with the Tigers earlier. It could be a theme for the day, but unfortunately it's not because I'm going to go with Navy. Let's get out of the way and move on.
Oh, wow. Group lock landing on Navy? We're not going to do the Tigers that way. We're just going to forget this great year?
No, on Thanksgiving weekend of all times, I'm going to go with the Tigers here. I've been rolling with them for a majority of all season. They've been doing very well against the spread. We've had some upsets, but I got to roll with the Tigers to end this season. We're going to end it off right. Go Tigers, go.
Friday morning, Egg Bowl, 11 o'clock on ABC. Also all the action right here. Ole Miss, 7.5-point favorite at Mississippi State. Dave Pash, Dusty D, and Taylor McGregor, the announced team. Davis Wade Stadium at Scottsfield. State fans, if I slip and say Scottsfield, please don't kill me. It's just what I remember it by. Is occasionally I'll make the mistake and say Memphis State. 122nd meeting all time. Passions will be high.
Yes, they
Tempers
will.
could flare. That's a nice word for somebody who could get a fat lip if they're not careful. 66-49-6. Ole Miss leads all time. Lane Kiffin 4-1 against State. His 4 wins have been by 39 points total, so about 10 points a game, but they've been a lot closer than that. So 2 years ago, 17-7 felt like a 7-6 game. Lane Kiffin 54-19 in his 6 years at Ole Miss. Is it his last game? Jeff Lebby trying to get bowl eligible in year 2. Bryant, you pick first.
Well, Brett, how about these numbers for you in their last 12 games? Mississippi State, 9-3 against the spread. They've only won 1 of their last 7, but 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 home games. How about this? In the last 7 Egg Bowls, 5-1-1. Forget about all the noise that might be a distraction for this Ole Miss team. These games have just been close because they're rivalry games. Give me Mississippi State to cover the spread. They might not win the game, but you're giving me more than a touchdown in this type of rivalry. I'll roll with Mississippi State.
Same thing. I think Ole Miss wins, but I think Ole Miss wins 31-24. Give me that 7.5. The Rebels win, and I'll get the cover. Group lock, Landon?
I don't know how I feel about being on an island this early in the picks, but I'm going to go with the Rebels here. I feel like there is a lot of noise surrounding this game, but like you guys talked with Coach Tommy West earlier in today's show, there's no problems when it comes to getting fired up for rivalry weekend, and I think this Ole Miss team is just too good, and they run away with it, so I'm going to go with the Rebels.
Aren't all these games really pick 'em on rivalry weekend?
They really are.
They really are.
Throw the record books out.
It doesn't matter.
If you get points, run off and hide with them. On Friday afternoon at 2:30 in downtown Atlanta in the ATL at the MBS. Clean old-fashioned hate, not on campus but at the Dome. Georgia minus 12.5 over Georgia Tech. Designated home game for the Ramblin' Wreck. Screaming Joe Test, the Bachelor, and Katie George, the announced team. Last year, 8 overtimes in Athens. This year, 19 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns for Gunnar Stockton, right? So 27. Haynes King, 12 touchdowns passing, 15 rushing. Well, look at there. 27-27 for those two quarterbacks. Both Stock and Haynes King on the 27 number. All-time Georgia leads big, 72-41-5. Give me Georgia Tech. Georgia wins, but give me the points. 45-41. Georgia wins over Georgia Tech. Brian.
Yeah, I got burned 2 weeks ago with that top 25 matchup, Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, and Notre Dame was favored by double digits. But I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to take this Georgia Tech team at home plus that 12.5 rivalry game. This Georgia Tech team has been good. I think this is closer than that 12.5, so I'll take Tech.
On an island or group lock?
We have our first group lock of the picks. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech as well. And if we get anything remotely close to what we got last year, this is going to be an exciting game. I can't wait for it.
That's a fact. Friday night, 6:30, ABC, deep in the heart of Texas. A&M minus 2.5 over Texas at Darrell K. Royal Stadium in Austin. Arch versus Marcel. Sark versus Elko. Horns and Aggies. Goodbye to Texas Universe. Please quit singing. 120th matchup all time. The first as a conference game in Austin since 2010. 77-37-5 all time. Hook 'em. Colin Simmons this week, the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week for Texas. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath, my favorite announced team, calling all the action. Landon.
I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I believe that this is their year to complete that perfect season, and they do it against Texas. Texas has kind of been upsetting for us this year. We expected a lot more from them, but this Texas A&M team has been on the rise, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. So let's go Aggies.
Bryant.
Two things I live by. I think Texas A&M's really good. I do not believe in Texas. Give me the Aggies.
Third thing you should live by, Brett, never sing on the radio again.
Well, throw that in there, yes.
So no more goodbye Texas University. I'm going to go on the island. Texas wins straight up 27-26. Give me the 2.5. Saturday morning to start the action, the game at the Big House, 11 o'clock on Fox. Ohio State minus 10.5 over Michigan. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, the Fox announced team. Michigan leads 62-51-6 all time. 4 straight. 62nd time to play in the Big House this rivalry. Season finale for both teams every year since 1935, except for World War II and the worldwide sniffles we called COVID. Every other year, they play for the last time of the year. 10 consecutive opponents, Ohio State's allowed less than 300 yards total offense this year. Bryant.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel so confident to pick this big of a favorite. I feel like Michigan, not many people have talked about him this year, but Ohio State has been so good this year, I'll take the minus that 10.5.
Landon.
You know, when it comes to this kind of rivalry game, Brian and I can definitely relate to this because it's kind of like Houston versus Collierville. It doesn't matter how good the seasons are, no matter what happened all year
rivalries
long.
Are rivalry games.
Rivalries are rivalries, and those games are always going to come down to the wire. So Michigan may not win, but, man, they are going to keep it close all the way down to the wire. But with that being said, I'm going to go with the Wolverines in this game.
And always a little something at the bottom of the pile.
Oh, you better believe
games.
it. Flag planting again.
Give me Michigan and give me Michigan to win straight up 19-17. And let's just see if we have a little chaos this weekend. 2:30 on ABC. Oklahoma minus 10.5 against LSU. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Quint Kesnick. First time for these big brands to play in Norman. LSU leads 2-1 all time. Oklahoma, they've won 47 of their last 50 November home games. Give me LSU straight up 17-14 over OU. Landon.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not entirely sure what led me to him because this offense has kind of been disappointing, but I feel like if LSU is going to get it right, they do it in this game and they keep it close. And I'm going to be with you as well, Brett. I think they win this game, so I'm going to go with the Tigers.
Brian?
Nobody cares about this game in Baton Rouge. They care about that announcement that comes on Saturday, whether they know who their next head coach is or not. They don't care. Oklahoma cares. Give me Oklahoma.
2:30 on ESPN on Saturday. Tennessee minus 2.5 over Vandy. Biggest game in Vandy football history. Heisman at stake for Vandy, not for Tennessee. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kubelik calling the game. Tennessee leads whopping 81-32-5 all time. The 5th meeting ever that both have been ranked. Vandy 2nd in the SEC and 9th nationally in scoring. Give me Tennessee straight up 38-34. Bryant.
Give me the Doors. How could I go against my Commodores this week against Tennessee? Anchored down.
Landon.
You know, it took me a while to be convinced of Vanderbilt, but man, Brian and I, we anchored down on this show.
Got that right.
And this will be the second biggest win in Vanderbilt history because of the playoff implications it has. I'm going with Vanderbilt, baby.
Anchored down.
Bowl picks 230, SEC net, Mizzou -2.5 at Arkansas. Dave Neal, Fozzie Whitaker, and Morgan Uber. The announced team, Arkansas, is trying to stay out of 16th place in the SEC. Mizzou leads 11-4 all time. Won the last 8 of 9. Ahmad Hardy with over 1,400 yards. Give me Mizzou 34-20 over the Razorbacks. Bryant.
Yeah, I'll take Missouri here.
Landon.
Yeah, group log on Missouri. Arkansas keeps it interesting, but they just can't win. Missouri.
6:30 Saturday night, the Iron Bowl on the Plains. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, 51-37-1. The Tide leads all time. It'd be a lot closer if those games had been played on campus during the year. And this year, 40th anniversary celebration on the Plains for Bo Jackson winning his Heisman Trophy in 1985. I'm going to take Bama to win, but Auburn to cover.
Wow.
Bama wins 26-24 over Auburn.
I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go with Bama here. I think they've been playing really, really well down the stretch this season. I think they get it done in this rivalry game.
Landon.
I'm right there with them. I'm going to roll with the Tide in this game. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of chip shots in the early moments of this game, but ultimately I think Alabama runs away with it.
Really quick, my lock and shot from the NFL. That's all only NFL picks. Philly -7.5 over Chicago, 35-13. The Eagles win. Tennessee, the Titans, look at there, Landon.
Wow.
They win 19-16 over Jacksonville, so give me the 6.5. Landon.
Ooh, tighten up with Brett this week. My lock this week, I'm going to go with the Falcons minus that 2.5 versus the Jets. Kirk Cousins is back, and he's looking pretty good, so I'm going to go with the Falcons to do that. And what a better shock this week than for the America's team to triumph over the evil empire in the Chiefs. Give me the Cowboys. Our Cowboys this week, plus the 3.5 versus the Chiefs. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Very good. And that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Let's do it.
You're going to stake that W early, Brian.
For my lock, I'm going to go Tampa Bay -3.5 over Arizona. I think this is a good get-right spot for this Tampa Bay team after they've struggled the last couple of weeks. And for my shock on Thanksgiving Day, how could I go anywhere else than Jerry's World with the Dallas Cowboys and
Our
defeating
Cowboys.
that evil empire in the Kansas City Chiefs? Our Cowboys get the big win. They keep rolling.
That's what America's all about.
America's team for the win.
Thanksgiving Day. Very good. That's our First National Bank Friday football forecast. We know it's Wednesday, but we bring it to you every week. First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. For anything real estate, commercial, agriculture, hunting, recreational, contact them at fnbt.com or call them at 901-498-5763. Offices over on Ridge Lake and out in Collierville. They build long-lasting friendships and relationships that last many, many years.
Well, let's get to our final break of the day, and when we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Everything today is technologically based. Well, except maybe you. If you're struggling with tech, no matter what kind, call Tech for You. Tech for You for TVs, home theaters, cameras, smart locks, digital storage, and more. Tech for You makes it simple and affordable. Call 697-9695. Make your home safe, comfortable, and up to date with Tech for You. Stop struggling with tech. Call 697-9695. Veteran owned and operated Tech for You. Technology simplified.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation size courts, 3 high school size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries, its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously Crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, both of the basketball teams in the city of Memphis go tonight. The Tigers at home against Southern Illinois. The Grizzlies on the road against the Pelicans. And it feels like a big night for both of these teams. Very winnable games for both teams. And you'd be feeling pretty good if both these teams can get a win tonight. For the Tigers, we know the rough start, 4 losses in a row. A win will definitely ease some of those concerns by just getting another win in that left-handed column. And on the other side, for the Grizzlies, if you can wake up on Thanksgiving and talk about 3 of your last 4 games being wins, I don't care who it's against. It's a lot better than that losing streak you were on a week or 2 ago. So should be a fun night for both these teams. Like I said, great opportunity for both of them to get wins.
It would be the first time this year they both won on the same day.
Oh,
Tigers only have 1 win. The Grizzlies didn't play that day, so
not many opportunities, I guess.
Not hard to figure, but we can get it tonight.
That's right.
So let's do that. What I learned, one of the great rivalry games on Saturday is the battle for the Old Oaken Bucket. That's Indiana at Purdue. 22 wins this year and last year for Indiana. 24 wins in the last 5 years for the Boilers. Tough first year for Barry Lamar Dave Odom.
Yeah, no, really, really tough. Really, really tough. What I could have done without this story coming out of Oklahoma, a junior college basketball player at Connor State College in Oklahoma died yesterday from an injury suffered during a game over the weekend. The game was on Saturday. The injury took place during the second half of that game. The game was played in Texas, an Oklahoma school, but the game was played in Texas, and lost a life because of an injury sustained in a game. Very, very rare do you see anything like that, but I mean, just shocking and extremely sad when you do see it. So definitely thoughts and prayers going out to his family and that team.
Oh, for sure. Connor State has produced a lot of players that go in other places. Alvin Robertson, All-American Arkansas and Olympian in Arkansas, came out of Connor State. I could have done without the college football playoff rankings last night. Since Hunter Yurichek's taken over, Ole Miss hadn't lost a game but has dropped 2 spots.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that, but
the burn for him must be really, really real for missing out on Lane Kiffin. I'd be mad too if I had to hire Sam Pittman instead of Lane Kiffin in 2019.
I mean, it's got to be something because
everything Lane's wanted Ole Miss, he would want it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I can't explain it. You're right. I haven't lost, but somehow find their way falling down the rankings. So not great at all. Not fun to watch if you're an Ole Miss fan. Where are you beaming? I guess for the next week?
All weekend. I'm not gonna be there all week, but I'm gonna be down in Starkville on Friday for the battle for the Golden Egg on these airways. I'll be alongside Gary Darby at 9 o'clock Friday morning, 11 o'clock kick, with David Kellum, Harry Harrison, and John Darnell calling all the action. Everybody play nice.
Yeah, play nice.
And have good sportsmanship.
I think we can do it. I don't know.
I know we can.
Yeah, it's a good question. if Ole Miss and Mississippi State fans can play nice, but I guess we'll
Everybody
find out.
Everybody gets along so well at lunch tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh man, lunch is great.
And then on Friday.
Yeah, and then Friday it just blows up. Beam me tonight to this Players Era Championship game. Gonzaga and Michigan, 2 undefeated teams. 2 teams that I don't know what the expectations were. They were big expectations, but I don't know how much people thought about these 2 teams in the offseason. Gonzaga, they're always around. You know they're going to have a good team, but this year's team a little different. They don't have that star, that future NBA guy on this roster. For Michigan, they went out, brought in a lot of talented guys, including Yaxel Lindenborg from the transfer portal to make this a top 10 team. They'll go tonight. One team will remain undefeated and have a championship. The other will have their first loss of the season. Should be a lot of fun in Vegas.
All right, are y'all the types that try to torture yourselves tomorrow eating? Do you try to hurt yourself, just eat that much?
I mean, I don't try. It ends up happening.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, whatever happens. It usually ends up being torture, but, if it happens, it happens.
So all weekend for me is going to be no limit. Food, football,
This is the
everything.
time, this is the time where you don't have limits. You just eat, you watch football, you just kind of sit there, and then you'll deal with the rest, later.
Can y'all imagine what next Monday's going to look like when we come on?
Oh my gosh, Brett, I can't even imagine. I mean, it will be a completely different world. I don't know what to expect.
Thankful for you 2 great guys.
Thankful for you, Brett.
Thankful for you, Brett.
Thankful for you, Landon. So, no, it's going to be a fun Thanksgiving again.
Even though I didn't get my hug from Josh, I'll give y'all a hug.
No, thank you. Yes, give us a hug for Thanksgiving. But quick reminder, we'll be out tomorrow. Obviously, for Thanksgiving, won't be here on Friday because of the Egg Bowl. So we'll talk to you again on Monday. Enjoy the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Safe travels. Be safe over these next couple of days. And we'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.